Classic League Podcast time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 351 of the Classic League Podcast. My name is Scott. My co-host is Kevin. Kevin, what was that Annabelle-looking doll you had there?
No idea what you're talking about. Hey, everyone. We are back.
We are. Sorry for the hiatus.
Yes. We missed Christmas. We missed New Year's.
It has been
you
since. Yeah. Oh, well done. Sorry I ruined
like
that. We haven't recorded together since I think I looked and the episode published date was December 7th of 2021. It is now January 26th of 2022.
A whole year.
A whole year since that.
Yeah.
But, welcome to Classic Elite. We are a video game podcast, especially the new Spotify listeners, because we are available on Spotify. And according to the algorithm, or according to the metrics, I'm sorry, we have a lot of listeners from Spotify. So
that's wild. It's because of Joe Rogan.
Thanks for joining. Well, you know what? I'll take scraps from anybody at this point. I haven't listened.
Not Neil Young. Neil Young's like, no.
I did hear about that little drama there. Whatever. I don't listen to Joe Rogan, so I'm a little out of the loop regarding that. I see the memes, the Joe Rogan memes, making fun of him and stuff, and I think that's pretty funny.
I saw one with Bill. I don't know.
Bill Burr?
Comedian. I think Bill Burr was on it.
Is he either redheaded or shaved head ginger?
I think he was bald.
Yeah. That's Bill Burr, because he is a ginger, but he lost his
So I saw like a clip online, because Twitter loves to just hate and then get angry.
Of course.
I've been good with Twitter. I've been good. I just don't care anymore. I'm like, I'm too tired for this.
Good.
And Bill Burr was on it, and he was talking to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was talking about masks and all that. And Bill Burr's like, why don't you just wear a mask? Like, shut up. Just wear a mask. And Joe Rogan's like, because you look like a bitch. He's like, oh, look at me. I'm so fucking manly. My fucking manly nostrils can breathe. Oh, fuck me. Like, I was like, that was actually pretty good.
Bill Burr's pretty funny. He,
yeah.
One of my favorite things. Have you ever seen him? He has lots of good stand-up bits that are kind of iconic. I won't try to get into them now, but we'll talk about some video games here. Since we haven't talked in a while, it's been since before Christmas and New Year's and all that. Yes. You had good holidays?
I did. For Christmas was the first time in 30-something years, because I forget how old I am. I asked for a power drill for Christmas because I'm a man. I'm a man. I got it, and because I have a whole house now that I still rent, but it's a whole house as opposed to a floor downtown Toronto. It made life a lot easier. And I was like, I got to put this bed together, and it was just like done, as opposed to like sweating and feeling fat with a little screwdriver. And I never have the right size screwdriver. It's always like one that came with IKEA, so when you turn it, the metal parts I
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, and I got that for Christmas, and that was good. And for New Year's, we just did it via Animal Crossing because I have no cable. So we just like counted down with KK Slider.
And Super Nerd, just video gaming it up on New Year's. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I went to go watch a movie in January before we shut down, but we'll get there after. Cause we're shut down again.
Yeah, hey, cheers.
Cheers, just shut down. I'm drinking Yup Light, 100 calories.
Ooh, wow. Light. I'm drinking a lot of calories in mine. I'm drinking a black IPA from my brewery. That's
God, I can't wait to try yours.
That's what I have in my fridge.
Alcohol in this thing. This is light beer, 4%.
I was going to say that's 4 or 5. The way they cut calories is taking the alcohol out. Mine's a 7.4%.
Oh, so it's strong beer. Nice.
Oh, fuck yeah.
God, I can't wait to try your beer.
Dude, Eric is like really pumping out some awesome brews. I am like fucking thrilled.
Well, whenever the goddamn borders open.
I know. I'm getting optimistic that, it'll be a while. But when you look at our stats, we are nosediving back down in the cases instead of skyrocketing up.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully by the time it's nice out. There were points, man, in June last year where we were getting 0 cases a day, averaging That's 0 crazy. Cases a week.
We never had 0.
I was like, we're out of it, baby. Let's go. Everyone's going to get their vaccines. It's going to fucking done. Turns out We're probably dealing with this nonsense until like the end of 2023.
Yeah, probably.
It's
really sticking around, not going anywhere.
Well, it's one of those things where when you have a full pandemic, they say that it really takes about 3 years to let it like run through humanity.
The only difference is back then when they had a pandemic, I don't think anyone said, no, I'm not doing that. No.
I saw some articles that during the Spanish flu in the early 1900s, masks were political then too.
Really?
Yeah. So
Trump was even born yet. How'd that happen?
It's whatever. We're not talking about politics or anything like that. We're just hoping that Kevin and I can see each other.
Yes, they stopped counting the numbers here in Ontario just because they said fuck it, we're not counting anymore. I was like, okay, we hit like almost like I forget, but we like hit a lot of numbers, and it was like let's say one day it was 4,000. But I was like, motherfucker, it's 4,001 because this bitch also got COVID. Yeah, son.
That's right. Yeah, you did.
I did get COVID. I was knocked out of my ass for a day and a half.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What about the family? Did anyone else get sick?
My daughter had a fever for a day. So, I don't know. She's vaccinated. She has the first shot.
Cool.
I had my booster right before I got COVID. And I thought when I was feeling sick, it was like a side effect from the booster.
Yeah.
So like I got it on Sunday, Monday night. I was like, I think I'm gonna go to bed. It was like 7 p.m., which I never do. I'm up till like 2. And then I went to bed. And then on Wednesday morning, I woke up coughing, and I'm like, that's not a side effect that's not a side effect. Coughing is not a side effect. And we had the rapid test that Hannah's school gave us. So I put in my nose.
Fuck and then the kid. You're gonna take it yourself, right?
Well, yeah. And then the positive came up right away. It was like positive. I was like, holy shit. Like you're supposed to wait 15 minutes with the whole thing just like purple plus sign. And my wife she took it very well.
Sure you're not pregnant? Took the wrong test?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they take like,
I'm sorry. It was terrible.
She grabbed my stuff and like threw it down the stairs as if I was cheating on her. She said, go downstairs, go right now. So I was downstairs with a bunch of crap all over the place in isolation. I filled up an air mattress from camping to sleep on because I'm like, I'm not sleeping on the floor. And during that time, I put together the gaming room, which I showed you photos of. And
it looks awesome.
So I'm very proud of it. I got like my TV set. I have all my old school consoles out and about. I have all the boxes hanging around. You can't see them now, but they're all on that side. All my 3DSs, handhelds are all displayed. My record players are out. My everything. My DVDs are out in alphabetical order. My games are out in alphabetical order because that's the way I am. And that's what I did when I was in isolation. And then my daughter got sick, and then she went downstairs with me. And I was like, fuck. I was so happy by myself, my own bubble. And then, so it was good. Awesome. I got to play a lot of old school games.
Yeah, it is. If you would have had that set up in 2009 on YouTube, you'd be making a living as an internet guy.
Right.
It looks awesome.
It does. I'm so proud of it. And I just keep adding to it. I got to get the NES games from my mom's house and put on the shelves as well.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it's just so nice to have all this space. And like I was playing my PS3. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's do this.
I saw you complaining on Twitter about something. Like what wasn't working?
Yeah, so my PS4 and Xbox and Switch are upstairs on the big TV. This one's a tiny TV that we had for our bedroom. And I'm like, let me play Blu-ray. And then the Blu-ray didn't work, movie. But then the Blu-ray game worked. I'm like, what the hell? And so I put in 3D Dot Game Heroes, and that worked. And then put in Metal Gear Solid 4, and that didn't work. I was like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Apparently the the movie Blu-rays are dual layer.
Okay.
So my dual layer Blu-ray on my PS3 isn't working. But it still reads single layer Blu-rays. I don't know.
Strange.
Right.
Weird. I just saw a video that had it was a CD made for PlayStations, and it had
black ones, right?
Huh?
The black ones?
No. It was a cleaning disc. So like on the underside of the disc, there were little hairs that were like sticking out of it to like clean the lens.
Oh.
And it was one of those things.
Virus, how that looks?
Yeah, maybe a little bit actually. Actually, you know what it looks like? Do you remember electric shaving commercials from the 90s where they would show how close it would get to the skin.
Like the side view and the diagram. Yeah.
But it was like animated almost. It like was okay.
TV did a scale on that called Mac 33, and it showed like their chin bone and stuff.
Okay, so it looked like it gave me those vibes, seeing these little black bristles sticking off of this disc. But also at the same time, like, couldn't that scratch it more? I don't know. I was skeptical on whether it would work or not. But are there any fixes?
Well, yeah, I was talking to Domez about it, and he's like, you can get a part online for like $20, the laser. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care that much. I'm like, I don't want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 that badly. If I want to buy a laser for $20, I'll buy a PS3 for $20. I'd just rather.
That's fair. I get, and you're not normally as much of a tinkerer as me. Like, I would have been like, I would have been like, I don't care. Only $20? I got my Sega Saturn working. See, here's the difference. I'll get my Sega Saturn working because that's like hard to find. Sure. PS3, I can sneeze and I can find one. If PS3 was like a Sega Saturn, I'll do it. I get that. I guess I would. It would no longer be about playing. The game would then be, can I get a dual layer to play on the PS3? And as soon as that's done and fixed, it's going in the box. I'm not playing it anymore. That was the game, but. I'd be like, let's fucking crack that open.
Now you're making me kind of want to do that because I
want you to do that
because this is my third PS3 because I did what you said to the other PS3s.
But to use your own words against you or in favor of this, so what? You can just go get another one. True.
My first PS3, I opened up because it was making like a scratching noise, and I got so fed up that I punched the top of it. So here's this. Like, think of like a shelf, like a little table, right? Okay, yeah. Think of the shape of a table. So I punched the middle of it, which is where the DVD is, and it bent like the letter M. Okay. So then, like, it would like hold the disc in spot anytime there was a disc in there. So like, fuck, and that's why I had to buy a second one.
That's funny.
I did the same thing for the second one.
Why do we punch you?
I get so angry. If I hit my head on something, I punch like the wall. I get so.
Oh, me too. That's why is that like? It must be like an old, like, monkey brain, lizard brain, like, holdover from, 100,000 years ago.
Because I have this pipe in the basement that I always hit my head on, like Tim Allen when he goes down the stairs in Home Improvement. And it drives me wild because there's, like, a piece of dried paint on it that's so sharp, and it just gets in my baby, in the soft spot of my brain, and it hurts so much, and I punch the ceiling, which is concrete, so it sucks. And my wife's like, why are you doing it? I'm like, you're 4'9". I'm 5'9".
In that instant, it makes you feel better, and then your hand hurts.
It's so satisfying. I had my wife calls my old bedroom a white boy bedroom.
Okay.
Because the walls were all just holes of me like punching the wall from playing Call of Duty back in the day. God. And my wife's like, what's with white boys and punching, my wife's brown. So she's like, what's with white boys and punching walls? I'm like, I don't know. We can't control our emotions.
Well, you didn't try to correct her and be like, well, I'm kind of like not white.
I'm European.
Yeah.
I am.
I know you are. It's just funny.
I filled the form and it said Caucasian and European. And motherfucker, I said European. And then it said,
totally fair.
Piano. What did you say earlier?
Lo siento.
Lo siento. Mm-hmm. Which is Spanish just for I love you.
Kinda.
I guess.
I don't tend to apologize to people I don't like.
But yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. What are they saying?
I don't know that your wife was.
PS3 isolation.
Yes.
Layer. Yes. Okay, so.
But
now I want to work on it.
Bravo on you being like really productive in quarantine. Like you took absolute full advantage, and you're like, you know what? All you could do is something selfish for yourself. So because
I had no room, right? Like everything was just boxes down here. So I put up the air mattress, and I was like a boat on water. I was just like, this isn't working. I know,
but okay, let's be honest. You basically acquired a new house, right? So you have an entirely new living space.
Yeah,
you're going to prioritize
my room.
Yeah, right. You're going to get
this room. I mean,
if you stayed entirely healthy, you'd make sure that your daughter and your wife's stuff was set up, that the family areas were set up. The last space you would get to would be where eventually you would get here.
Right.
But now I
don't spend that much time down here now. So
but you had no excuse. So you actually got to what you really wanted to do first. You got to do that first.
And I got to play Sega Saturn. I put in my Saturn, and I put in Daytona. And it was like, Daytona! I'm like, fuck yeah, we're on the way, bro. Put in Virtual Cop, and it was like, don't shoot me. Reload. And I'm like, how did I play this without a gun? Like, I don't have a gun for it.
Yeah, it's a slow-ass cursor. Like,
yeah. Oh my God, this is brutal.
I hope that you have the effect that I did when I hung my guitars on the wall. That because it was out... Like, I played them more. Like, they were just so convenient to flip on. So now, like, all these games you bought 8,000 times, I'm hoping, like, this, like, sticks around for you.
I have my amp out. I don't know if you saw my amp. It has the Mortal Kombat joystick on it.
Oh, no, I did. Yeah, that was like a Line 6 or a PV or something, right? Yeah. I did notice that.
Is out. It was in storage for, like, 5 years.
It's there.
And all I got to do is find my guitar stands, and I'm putting that shit up. It's all going to be on the floor.
I love it. If it's available, you might. It's odd. Dude, I'm so excited for you.
I never played it because it was in the furnace room. Like,
well, out of sight, out of mind. You know, like you just totally forget because you don't see it. So, dude, that's awesome. Very.
So nice all this living space that I have now.
Very excited for you.
Gaming that I could do now. I plugged in my ColecoVision. I plugged in my.
Dude, yeah.
Like it's so nice. I'm like, wow, this is terrible. And then. Yeah, it's just like nice to have it out. You know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna play it again, but it's there on the shelf. I have all my. Well, yeah, that's true. But I have all my consoles because they used to be in a box, and all the wires used to be in different bags. All my consoles now are on the shelves with the plugs in them, and they're just dangling between the wall and the shelf. So if I ever want to play it, just pull it. All the wires are with it. I don't have to look for anything. I have a little shelf there with all the controls in it. It's all hooked up and ready to go. It's great. It was a pain in the ass to find the wires because I'm like, Nintendo? Super Nintendo. Which is which?
You had nothing better to do. So
yeah, I was in isolation. So, but I'm alive. And yes, I do believe the vaccines helped me. Political. Mm-hmm.
It's not political. That's not
even political. Though I got the COVID after the booster shot. But anyways, let's forget that part. It takes a week for it to kick in.
I guess I'm of the opinion that vaccines and public health are not a political thing.
You're a sane person, so yeah.
So what are you gonna do? I'm so unplugged from politics. It's been wonderful. It takes effort, right? Because when I'm exposed to not get involved, but I feel
that's fair.
Good about all that. I also have been doing a lot of crap around my house. Not as much of the like specific video game stuff, but I used to have a room where I kept my old CRT and some old consoles and stuff to get like that, that experience. Right. And I got a new job, and it's a work from home position, so very excited. I love it. I'm 2 months in.
You can work from home, right?
I'm like 2 months into it.
For 2 years.
So it's not working from home that I like, but I like the organization much more. Like the role, my day-to-day tasks I like more. And I also get to work from home, which is nice, super sweet. And I'm supporting local stuff. It's all like where I'm based here in Ohio. It just supports my county. So it's just couldn't be happier.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
But I've always heard, one of the things, if you are working from home, that you should really focus on is having a dedicated workspace that the only thing you do is in that space. Otherwise, it's hard to detach from work. And
that's why people say don't do stuff in bed, like play video games or watch TV, because then...
Even though I'm about to get to what I just fucking did in my room that totally, violates that. But I took all of my old retro game stuff, moved them to a different part of my house, and then made an office that I work out of in one of my guest rooms. So I'm like, okay, awesome, that feels good. But it led to this really fun cascade of okay, well now I got to redo this room, and okay, now I have to do this room.
Yeah, you move stuff from one room to another.
Yeah.
Stuff from this room to another one. Yeah.
So I redid my bedroom. Looks awesome. I got down a rabbit hole of hanging curtains.
Me too. It's fun, right?
It kind of is, It's funny because I normally don't find these Instagram influencer really pretty girls, the makeup tutorial type girls.
Yeah.
But man, do they know how to hang a fucking curtain. So it was a side of YouTube that I'm not familiar with, but was cool. I dabbled in a little bit of sewing with a sewing machine. Got a sewing machine.
Shit, son. Nice.
I ended up just getting fabric hem stuff, but I fixed a pillowcase, one of my favorite pillowcases. So
nice.
Fun stuff. And then my dream, I think I've texted you this before, but I don't think I've talked about it on the show. I had this weird spare room in my like main room, or like my house is open except for like one hallway. So there's this weird door in the middle of this open area that goes into.
Wait, are we recording?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Weird door in this area. Go ahead.
Weird door in my area. I've checked like 4 or 5 times.
Okay,
I honestly was like, did I fuck this up? So what I've been able to do is take this room that used to be a kid's playroom, the people that lived here beforehand. I moved my old game stuff in there. Years ago, a friend of mine gave me a dartboard. I have that installed and hung up. My kegerator is in there. And about 8 or 9 months ago, I had this idea. I'm like, you know what would be awesome is if I had one of those turn into a secret room. Do a bookshelf door so it looks like just a normal bookshelf. And
we spoke about this where we're saying sometimes you lift the phone and
that's what I want to do. Yes,
right.
I don't remember if this was on air or not.
It was on air.
Okay, so that door got ordered. It is sitting there waiting to be installed. My brother-in-law and my sister, they got hit with the vid, so that set things back a bit. So when my brother-in-law he's a general contractor. I probably said that before too. So he's, God bless him, going to help me install this. And how cool is that? Walk in, my kegerator's in there. My old video games are going to be in there. My old amps.
I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be
sick.
I
love when we get creative like that. Like in my old room, my bedroom, like when I lived in my mom's house, my door, I got rid of the doorknobs.
Okay.
And I put skate trunks there.
Oh, dude.
So that was like the handle.
Yes.
Pull, right? So I was I'm proud of this. Sure, the door swung open every time there was a breeze, but whatever. I never had girls over because, come on, look at me. Yeah, so I never had the door locked. And it's funny you mentioned CRTV because I was talking to a friend of, one of Hannah's friends' dads at a mall. We just ran into each other. And I was talking about the game room. And I'm like, I'm trying to look for like a CRTV. He's like, for the retro games. I'm like, yeah, I didn't have to explain it. Immediately. You got it right away. Mostly people are like, why? Like the tube TVs? I'm like, yeah, why the big ones? Get a flat screen. No. But he instantly, because he knows I'm wearing like a Sonic shirt.
Sure.
And instantly, he's like, it's for the retro games. I get it. I'm like, yes. Oh my God, yes. You got it.
I'm excited. Really I found, I haven't put them together yet, but I bought these shelves that are going to have so I'll have the CRT and then right next to it, my Sega, my Super, my NES, and whenever my Cliff Notes or this is why I still have one of those, I'll say, oh, so I can play Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And everybody immediately is like, oh, you can't play that on a big TV? And I'm like, no. If you are interested, I can explain why, but no, you can't. So it's fun to have that. I go, my friends love playing it, and I go, my friends' kids ask for Duck Hunt, and they're always like, no, because it doesn't work on our TV.
I found out that Duck Hunt doesn't work on a flat screen. Because remember I told you, we're not nostalgic because we live with it every day. We're not looking back going, oh, I missed a Nintendo. We have Nintendo. We can play it anytime.
Sure.
So when I got a flat screen, first time ever, and I plugged in my Nintendo, I wanted to play some Duck Hunt, and nothing happened. I was like, "What the? Is this TV broken?" And
it's just you can't even do put the gun to the screen.
No,
it misses.
Nothing happens.
Misses every time.
Yeah, so I was like, "Wow, this is flat screens are shit." Fuck HD because this is when HD first started.
Well, and my brother's one of these. He doesn't listen, but Mark, sorry. He likes stretching the old retro games on the CRTs and he has to plug it. Give me those black big ass bars on the side, man.
Yeah, I was thinking pixel perfect on my SNES Mini. I'm like, just sharpen that shit because I was so close to the TV now, right? I'm like, yeah, sharpen that shit.
So awesome. Well, I'm glad that you and I have been able to keep ourselves occupied. It's fucking freezing here now. I know it's -0 in Toronto, and we did a conversion where I'm at. It was -3 this morning for me here in Finley.
And it was -28 here.
Celsius. -28, yeah. It was -19 where I was at. It's like, God. Last night...
And I was saying earlier... Sorry, go ahead.
Last night, I had to do cleaning at the brewery, And when I got out, I thought it was like 17 out. I just had that in my head. And I was like, God, am I just turning into a wimp? Because this feels so cold. Yeah, I guess 17 would be like a -5 maybe for you.
Yeah. That's warm.
Right now. Like, that's not like instant bone chilling like you were saying, like your eyelashes were freezing from your...
And my eyebrows are full of icicles. It was weird, man. I've never seen that happen before.
From the condensation coming up from your hot
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I shave my beard, so my chin is like super sensitive to the cold.
I know you do. I'm not used to this like sharp and proper Kevin, man.
I know. I had a job interview.
So it looks good.
Proper.
I prefer the clean look on folks.
Oh no, I normally do too, but pandemic. I mean, who cares?
I get it.
And then I kind of like I don't notice how bad it is until I do like a side by side comparison of like before and after. I'm like, ooh,
I don't know. I think you wear the grungy, like I'm a Gen X dad, even though you're a millennial. Like you wear that vibe well. So
yeah. Oh, speaking of which, during isolation, Hannah and I watched the Scott Pilgrim movie.
What'd she think?
She loved it. So we've been playing the Scott Pilgrim game since it came out on the Switch.
Okay,
and she
I didn't know it came out on the. I feel like we talked about that it was going to. But
oh yeah,
I didn't know
I was going to buy the physical
out.
edition. Oh yeah, it's been out for so long that you can buy it on sale for like $10 now.
Okay.
So her and I have been playing that since it came out.
Okay.
Like, because it's a hard game, right? But she's good at it. She's like my player too. It's what I always wanted. And so after that, it's been so long since we played the beginning that we're at the last boss now, who's a pain in the ass. That I started reading her the comics.
Okay,
and I just like censor like I'm reading it, so I'm like not saying the bad words and all that. So it's kind of hard because the freaking band's name is Sex Bomb, and I say Sex Bomb because I don't think sex is a bad word, but I also don't want to explain it, so I just do it like really fast. We are Sex Bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just say it really fast. But no, like sex isn't a bad word. It's bitch and retard.
It gets awkward. Yeah,
it does, right? But I don't want her to not know who Sex Bomb is. Like that's the name of the band. On the freaking form, it says sex, male or female. You know what I mean? Like it.
Think about it like Sex Pistols. Like my parents wouldn't have felt weird about saying Sex Pistols when I was 8 years old.
So that's I'm going through. So I'm reading her the comic, and I was like, "Do you want to watch the movie?" She's like, "There's a movie." I'm like, "Yeah," and it takes place in Toronto. She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." They fight at Casa Loma. She's like, "That's 10 minutes away from my house." I'm like, "I know,
right?"
So yeah, we watched the movie. She loved it. She laughed at a million parts that I wasn't expecting. She liked Wallace, which is Scott's gay roommate.
He's
which is Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, it'll come to me. Don't spoil it. I know his name. It's not.
And
Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran Mulcahy. No,
it is,
isn't it?
It's close to that.
I thought it was Kieran. Anyways,
he's fantastic in almost everything I see him in.
Yeah, he's great. And I was trying to tell her, I'm like, remember in Home Alone, that guy who drinks the cocoa and he wets the bed? I'm like, that's him.
That's him,
She's like, no way. But no, Fuller. She loved it. And Fuller. But she loved it. I was very proud of her. Like, she liked the movie. She understood when he was flashing. She's like, oh, he's almost dead when he's fighting Gideon at the end.
Yeah.
And Scott Pilgrim's like lying on the floor and he's flashing. She's like, oh, look the game. He's almost dead. I'm like, yes, exactly. Thank you. Amazing. So I thought that was very cute. We watched Amazing Spider-Man. I'm trying to make her watch all the original Spider-Mans. And then we're going to watch Homecoming, Far From Home, and then No Way Home. Have you watched No Way Home, which is a perfect segue for that?
I have not.
So it was the last movie I watched before I went in, before Toronto shut down again. Thankfully, because it's a movie I want to. It was like Ghostbusters. I want to watch it with like the theater with people who like. It's hard because there's a thing with the Marvel movies that drive me kind of crazy. I know it's very hipster of me. Like I liked it before it was popular because everyone fucking loves Spider-Man. I get it,
sure.
But there's a difference between like I watch the Spider-Man movies because I like Spider-Man and the story. But people, mostly women, watch it because of Tom Holland, because he's a good-looking guy. And I get that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's how it is with all the movies. You watch Captain America because of Chris Evans, who, funny enough, is also in Scott Pilgrim, and so is Captain Marvel. They're both in Scott
that's
Pilgrim.
right. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's a fucking little MCU reunion.
Right. Also, my daughter and I do the whole, like, first you were a vegan, and now you will be gone. Be gone. And then, because she understands grammar. and she understand what a vegan is. Anyways,
that's cool.
So what the hell was I saying? So yeah, we watched Spider-Man. I watched Spider-Man with my cousin and my best friend and all that, which is dumb. We couldn't normally in the movie theater you can like reserve seats and seats around you are like blocked off, but now they weren't. So we were sitting super close to people, but we had to wear masks the whole time. There was no food, and all the commercials on the damn screen were like, "Hey, you guys want some popcorn? Some hot dog?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, fuck me." I'm not gonna say much about Spider-Man. I'm just gonna say it was probably one of the best movies I have ever seen.
That's saying a lot.
Okay, sorry. One of the best superhero movies I've ever seen.
Is it your favorite of the Tom Holland trilogy?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, so good. And I went in there like completely blindfolded. I had hints of things that were gonna happen, but I didn't know for sure. And then it happened, and I was like, "This is wonderful," and everything about this movie is wonderful.
Cool.
And it was just great.
I do want to see it because I guess I'll just jump ahead a little bit. I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man on PS4 or PS5.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean about like the suits. Like
good or bad?
Well, just how many there are and how like it is fun to unlock them and like try them in different ways. So within that, you know, you see Amazing, and I know that's the Andrew Garfield one or whatever.
Yeah.
And like my favorite that I had that I played the vast majority of the game with is the Stark suit. Sorry, I really prefer the minimal webbing look. I just like the basically red and blue.
They had the classic suit there too.
They did. They got the classic suit. Something about the Stark one I just liked a little bit more. There's more definite. It's what actually. If you fire up the game right now as it is, the classic suit's what I'm wearing. Because I once I saw the credits, I decided to go back and play some more. So I'll talk about that in a bit, but it has me very, I guess, more motivated than I was to watch No Way Home. I really liked the first two Tom Holland movies.
Yeah,
especially Michael Keaton as Vulture. That was
great.
That movie was fantastic.
And the way they made him like a vulture, because he goes in there and like scrapes.
He does the cleanup of like, dude. It was just
amazing because the real Vulture in the comics is fucking stupid. He's like an old guy who turns young. Like, you know what I mean? This is dumb.
He was kind of dumb in the video game too. That PS4, I can't wait to talk about that.
But I can say I also watched the second Carnage movie, the second Venom movie.
I started it. I had to turn it off. It was too dumb.
Dude, that movie was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I thought that first Venom wasn't as bad as I was told. So I
hated the first Venom.
I was like, it was dumb, and like Venom, that character or whatever is terribly written and acted. It's just not.
I like Tom. What's his name? Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. He was like I
like him as Eddie
yes.
Brock. Perfect. Better than Topher Grace. So,
but like Venom as just
this comedic. Like, I'm here to help you, Eddie. Dude, I'm like, what are you doing?
Dumb.
Yeah.
And I still got a lot. I finished that, so I think that
it was entertaining.
Something.
The first one was entertaining.
I couldn't. I mean, I didn't get far at all in that.
And I hated Venom because it's like you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. Like the whole he says we are Venom to you, Spider-Man. That's why he's called Venom. And like without the white logo and the whole webbing, like it doesn't make any sense. That it's like. I was gonna say it's like making a Joker movie without Batman. They did that too.
That was good though. It can be done.
It could have, yeah. But anyways, so Venom, it was dumb, and I was like, it was like what I wish was Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. I'm like, it's never gonna be an MCU. And then Venom 2 came out, and I'm like, I love Carnage. I know I'm so edgy. I love Carnage. Who would have thunk? And like, I didn't like Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Carnage is supposed to be more like the Joker again.
Okay,
it's supposed to be more like. Like,
I didn't even really get to Woody Harrelson being introduced. Like I saw a glimpse
and it's
of
so
him.
dumb the way he becomes Carnage. He like bites Eddie, and he has like this thing on his tongue. And he's like blood, and then that's how he becomes Carnage, which is why it's red. But then he turns into a tornado. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he a tornado?
In the comics, didn't Carnage also from outer space?
He's Venom's like symbiote that was left behind when Eddie Brock was in jail with Cletus Cassidy. So as he left a piece of symbiote behind that took over Cletus Cassidy. And Cletus Cassidy is so fucking crazy that the symbiote isn't doesn't say we, it says I, because it takes over him. So Venom goes on top of Eddie.
Yes.
The black suit goes on top, and Carnage goes from inside.
Okay.
So it splits out. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's why I'm like, this isn't really Carnage, but it's cool to see him on the big screen. But in the last Venom movie, all the stuff that the last guy that they fought, Riot, I think he was, did all the Carnage moves, like there's claws and all that. So I'm like, you took that away from Carnage. Anyways, the movie was dumb. Shriek was dumb. Everything about the movie was dumb. I hated it. I was on my phone the whole time watching it, except for the end credits. And I don't know if you want me to tell you.
I don't care. I guess
so the end credits.
Spoilers, 30 seconds.
Spoilers for fucking Venom 2. No one watches. I'm saving you guys time. At the end of the movie, it shows Venom, Eddie Brock in bed, like lying down, and then like a big flash happens, and he's like, "Was that you?" And Venom's like, "Oh, that was not me, Venom. Eddie, that was you." Like, because Venom is stupid. And then all of a sudden, you hear J. Jonah Jameson talking on a TV, and you're like, "What?" Like J. Jonah Jameson from the MCU, because these movies are separate, remember? And he's like, "Now we know who Peter Parker is. Peter Parker is Spider-Man." And Venom looks at the TV, and you see fucking Tom Holland there, and he's like, "Oh, he looks familiar." And then it cuts to black, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's finally in the MCU." That's what I want. Fucking do it correctly.
Yeah, that's right. I've never been a big Spider-Man fan. Not that I dislike him. I just never. When it came to when I was a kid, I liked the X-Men comics.
Yeah,
or X-Men comics, but like the cartoon and
the 90s. You know they're making that back too.
No, that's cool.
They're making the 90s cartoon again, and AJ Locascio, the guy I interviewed, is going to be on there as one of the voice actors.
Oh, hell
is that awesome? I don't know who he is though, but yeah, I saw that he put that on Facebook.
So
isn't that weird that him and I are Facebook friends? I'm like, oh, geez.
It is.
And I see him.
You got a more famous friend than I do.
Well, I see him talking like Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar will like comment on his posts. I'm like, oh my god, it's Phil Lamar. He's Mauricio Lamars is also commenting, like all these voice actors.
Yeah.
Like not Anthony Taylor Thomas, Jonathan
Taylor Thomas.
No. The guy.
I was gonna say that's I almost had a joke in my head earlier where when you were talking about getting a power drill, I'm mad I don't have like a Tim Allen like. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm mad I didn't have that. You bring up Tim Allen earlier for whatever reason, and now Jonathan Taylor Thomas inadvertently came up. Like, I guess I got to go watch Last Man Standing when I get done or something. It's the
Home Improvement podcast.
Yeah. Right. But no, was it Jonathan Taylor Thomas or was it different?
No, the voice actor is John Thomas something. It doesn't matter. He does all the voices of like all the games that you know.
Like, so is he like a Troy Baker type or like?
Yeah. He's also like in Star Wars, Clone Wars. Like he's in all those voices. Anyways, the point is, I see all these voice actors, but I didn't mean to cut you off. About what you were saying.
Just that, for some reason, like Home Alone keeps coming up every 30, 20 minutes in my life right now. I don't get it. Or Tim Allen something. So.
No, you're talking about X-Men comics.
Well, just that so. The little bit of time or my interest I ever had in Spider-Man, it was fucking Venom. Not Dr. Octopus, not anybody else, not the Green Goblin, nobody. Venom was number one villain to me.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I did collect comic books in, like, I guess, the earlier 90s, like 92 to 94-ish, something like that. It was in, like, 4th and 5th grade. Venom was like relatively new. I didn't know that. I thought Venom was always around.
He's like 92, I think he came out.
So I didn't realize it was new, but he was like a big deal. Like he was, had his own comics and was always in the Amazing Spider-Mans that I would get.
It's a cool design. Like it
looks awesome, you know. And that was also the era when like Spawn was coming out and like things were just cool. But that's it. Like I don't have like an affinity towards Spider-Man.
Well, I watched like cartoons like you did, and the movies. Well, the movies, Sam Raimi ones. But I was always also a Venom fan. I don't know. He's just a cool looking guy. Like I like the black and white and the.
I just feel like I was really out of touch because prior to the MCU, if someone were to ask me the most popular DC comic book guy, there's a 1 and a 1A or 1B. I think if you're into
Superman
comics, right. It's like no brainer. I didn't look at Spider-Man as number one Marvel guy. Like clear the way that like Superman or Batman was. and I feel like most people do associate Marvel more with Spider-Man. I, for whatever reason, was just in my little X-Men world, so it was Wolverine to me was Marvel. What's your take on that? Or are you like...
No, mine was Spider-Man.
Like clear, like the way that Batman or Superman comes
Yeah, because in the goddamn show, he like lands on the Marvel logo, so it's just like ingrained in my head.
You know what? I never watched the that Spider-Man cartoon that came out around that same time because it was...
Yeah,
I was a little too old. I know, but I didn't watch that one. I don't know why.
Because I remember when Storm was there, she's like, the power of wind, very whatever. And Spider-Man's like, the power of web, very sticky. And I'm like, funny.
I had no context. I didn't understand that Spider-Man was so snarky and like
he's very
a jokester and always tongue in cheek.
How's it hanging? And he's like,
yeah. Now that I'm aware of all of that stuff, I think it made playing that PS4 game a lot more enjoyable for me, and the approaches that Sam Raimi had in those Spider-Man movies and what the Andrew Garfield ones were like. I get it now. Like, it's funnier to me. It doesn't feel forced. It feels consistent because I expect it. So I don't know why I got on that, but like Venom to me is number one, clear as day, and I hope he.
What about Carnage?
Carnage felt like my perspective of Carnage was we're out of ideas. Let's make a red one.
Yeah, it was the Knuckles of the Sonic and Tails, right?
Dude, 100%. So
that's why I like Knuckles, because I like the anti-heroes that like team up with the good guys. I love when that happens.
I like
Let's
Knuckles
put our
too.
Differences aside.
I like Knuckles just because it was different gameplay. Sticking on walls, like floating.
Like Venom.
I guess so. So, cool.
Speaking of which, did you see the new Sonic trailer? I had that originally on the show notes a month ago when the trailer first came out.
There's a new Sonic trailer? Oh, for the new movie?
The movie, yeah.
No, I haven't.
So I watched it on the Video Game Awards with Ben. What's the guy's name? The guy who does the voice of Sonic. He was on like 30 Rock.
Oh, yeah. It was Schwartz or something?
Yeah. So he was on Video Games Live, and I think he did a good job with it. He came out with he's like, and I here to exclusively show you the Sonic trailer. He holds up a DVD. He's like, it's not this. This is just for comic relief, or like this is just a prop. No one watches DVDs anymore. But he had and then Jim Carrey, who's supposed to be at the Game Awards, was like on like a video camera, like talking and being Jim Carrey. But I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Not once did he say Video Game Awards in that clip. That was just like a stock footage that he had just because he's like, oh, I'm your grandpa. Oh, I'm your grandpa. Woo, grandpa. Like, that's what he. It was like dumb, like so dumb. And I'm like, of course, Jim Carrey's not gonna be at the Video Game Awards. But then the trailer showed up, and it was great. It looked so good.
Knuckles I like that movie. I'm excited to see the second one.
Yeah, dude, Knuckles looks good. They're doing my boy good.
Cool.
And if they bring in Amy, it's gonna be a lot of weird furries online.
Little tension there.
Well, I'm talking about like Rule 34, internet wise.
Oh, yeah.
She's naked a lot.
Yeah,
especially if you make her like 3D like that.
Yeah. Well,
that skirt.
I guess watch your porn searches out there, folks. So, all right. Well, I guess let's talk about what's in the news.
New releases.
Oh fuck, we're gonna do new releases.
Well, there's something interesting that came. Yes, we're gonna do. Who are we? Like some sort of podcast that just don't talk about games. Anyways, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection came out for PS5.
Well, I don't know why, but the new song's not stopping. It just keeps replaying. So here we go. There, it's stopped now. We'll get back to that.
Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection for PS5, which includes Uncharted 4, A Thieves End, and Uncharted The Lost Legacy Remaster for PS5. That's weird. That's a weird collection, man. Super weird. You should have all 5 of them. Why not have all 5 games?
That's strange. Now, I was listening to Sacred Symbols of the PlayStation podcast. No, different one. It's with YouTube guy Chris Raygun and Colin Moriarty. And they were like going off.
Raygun. I know that name.
Is a YouTube guy. Maybe you came across him.
Okay.
They were like, what the fuck is this? Like, they were trying to wrap they all played Uncharted from the beginning. So they were like trying to wrap their minds what it would be like to only play 4. And I'm over here being like, oh, it's totally fine. They're like, you're going to miss so many things.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing with the movie, too, right? The Uncharted movie. They're like taking... It's like part 4 and bits and pieces of part 1 and 2 and 3.
Oh, wild. Okay.
Because he's like, I'm looking for my brother. I'm like, but his brother doesn't get...
Oh, yeah, his brother's like, that's what I did in Uncharted. You mean his brother doesn't disappear every time? That's not what they do every time?
No.
Oh, well, shit, news to me. I'm going to watch this movie and be like, that's fucking great. It's just like the game.
It follows the
like, I'm going to see all these people, all these
2, 3, and 1.
Yeah, all these Uncharted fans complaining like crazy, and I'm going to be like, it's fucking good. I don't know.
You guys are playing it wrong. That's
I played the first half of Golden Abyss on Vita and all of 4, and that's it. And watch it be like the 90% of the movie is pulled from that.
Yeah, it's a weird collection, but hey.
So yeah, it's Uncharted 4 remastered, right?
And the DLC Lost Legacy.
Is that the one with the girls? There was like
that's the one I played. I was so like remember I was like, oh good, a linear game, and then the map opened up, and I was like, jeez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like a hub. I don't want to do this.
I'm out.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction for PS5. Who cares? Serious Sam 4 Planet Badass.
Why? Okay, Serious Sam. No idea what it is. I know I have some. I own it somewhere. It's just a thing that exists, like, it's in a different universe, like that. It is strange. It is popular though.
Yeah, it is. I guess,
or it must sell. Like,
no one ever talks about it.
It shows up in new releases all the time.
I don't see anything else that was big that stuck out.
Windjammers too.
Who?
Windjammers. Speaking of John,
yeah,
they popularized Windjammers 1. It's like a dodgeball type game.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Tron in beach volleyball, like the Tron disc game.
Oh, okay.
And beach volleyball are one game. And there's a second version of it.
Speaking of which, did you ever have the show reboot in the States?
I know of what you're talking about.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
There was like that CGI.
The first Canadian CGI show made. I was watching it the other day, and then Bob always plays with Fong, the game Pong, and it just clicked on my mind as I was watching. I was like, "Oh, he's Pong. That's why they play Pong. They call him Fong." Oh, okay. Holy shit!
Like Canadians are super clever.
Well, it's like when the girl's name was Mouse. It never clicked that she's a mouse, like a computer mouse. And the surfer was the web surfer. He surfs the web. I'm like, oh, God, this show's clever. I'm so stupid. Anyways, that's all the 4 games that came out. I don't care.
Yeah, there's just go play old stuff. All right, let's talk about the news.
Is they on it? No, nothing. All right,
good enough.
Surprisingly, after a month, there's not a lot of news, but this is one of those rare cases where it's quality over quantity. Quality. I forgot what I'm talking about. Oh my!
There's like maybe one of the biggest news items that's ever happened in video games, like from a business perspective, happened.
So let's go through all the other crap. So
I mean, this is how things work out. What do you want to chat about first?
PS Plus games have been announced for February. Nothing for Xbox yet, though. But EA Sports, UFC 4, Planet Coaster Console Edition, and Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderlands one-shot adventure for PS4. Oh, it's for PS4. All these games are for PS4 except for Planet Coaster. Didn't Tiny Tina just come out? It's already like free on PlayStation Plus.
Tiny. I don't know. Tiny Tina is old at. Oh no! This is that second thing. I don't know. Aren't they making a movie with her too, or something? Or she's
making a Borderlands movie.
Yeah.
She's part of that, right? I never played Borderlands. So.
When I was going to a lot of cons years ago, somewhere on my computer I still have photos. There were some of my favorite cosplay I ever saw were some Tiny Tinas.
Oh, really? I wouldn't know who she was if I saw.
You might not have known it was Tiny Tina, but you would have immediately known, like, oh, that's a Borderlands character.
Oh yeah.
Because the way these girls would look cel shaded in real life, it was really neat.
Oh, that's cool. That was one series I never got into. My brother really got into Borderlands, but I tried. I'm like, meh.
I liked the second one a good bit. I never got to the end, but I liked it. The thing was the mechanics always ended up being me backing up, shooting something coming at me, just
and it was all
over and over again.
I don't like those fetch quest games, and that's what this was.
Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, go to this point and do this thing, and I'm not. I don't like crafting. And like, and constantly leveling up stuff. So like, you could like level up a gun or end up with a gun that you like, and then immediately pick something else up, and it's neat. It played well. It was neat.
It came with my Vita, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Let me download it." 2 days later, and I'm like, I don't play this. I was like, I don't want to do this at all.
So why are we talking about? Because you can get it. Assault on. Yes. What kind of a game is it? You think? Is it like?
No idea. Apparently, it came out in 2013. This is the thing that started it all, but this is all new.
That was that quest. That was that DLC. But then they also sponsor or that spawned.
I'm guessing it's also a first person fetch quest kind of game, except you play as Tiny Tina, and then
it could be
which defeats
StarCraft 2 RTS for all I know.
What is Baldur's Gate?
It's that's another one that's like Serious Sam to me. Baldur's Gate.
It's on sale on the Switch right now for $11 for like all three, and I've heard good things about it. But
it is one of those like
top down.
That I don't know. In fact, I thought that maybe there might be some where it's first person, like more Skyrim
like
style
Fallout situation. Because Fallout was like a top down.
Yeah, but more think like more Kingsfield, like for like early.
I don't know.
Baldur's Gate, all I know about Baldur's Gate was, yes, it was getting remade. That was a big deal. That was big in the news. Midway, if this was the end of the podcast, somewhere in the middle area of the podcast. Yeah, news. It is an RPG PC game that is like seminal. It is very influential.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's on sale right now
about it.
Switch. And I'm like, it's $11, but
you got all those games that just take a look around, Kevin.
I know.
You don't need to buy that game.
It's true. If I can buy any Isaac,
I wish I could articulate it a bit more, but I feel like I know the essence of it. Like, I would know the aroma if there was an aroma of it. Like, oh, that smells like someone's making like a Sunday Italian gravy or something. You know what I mean?
Isn't it part of Dungeons and Dragons or World of Warcraft? It's part of a world, right?
I think it is its own world the way Dungeons and Dragons or World of Warcraft is. It's not one of those.
Oh, I thought it was connected somehow.
I don't think it's connected to another property. I think
Baldur's Gate is a series of role-playing video games set in the Forgotten Realms Dungeons and Dragons campaign setting.
Ah, nice. Well done. Okay, you were correct.
Fuck you, okay, man? That was fucking right.
Hey,
fuck you. All y'all haters say, oh, classic leap, but they never talk about classic stuff. Fuck you.
No one has ever said that.
No one has ever said that. In fact, all our listeners are quite nice when they reach out. But anyways. What was I saying? Oh, yes, the next news. News!
Unless, if you do want to tell us we're idiots, classicleet@gmail.com. Please feel free to send us an email. Our DMs are open. Classic Leet on Twitter, Classic L337.
As the kids say. And our TikToks.
I don't even know if our... You know what? I actually did want to ask you about that.
What's up?
Should we make some TikToks?
No.
I fucking love TikTok.
I hate TikTok. Every time someone says it to me, I'm angry right away.
Because you're not even trying it. You're being a crouchy old man.
No, it is because it's Vine. And I hated Vine. It's 5 seconds of people trying to be funny. Look at me with some words behind me. Ooh, get fucked. I'm the one who's trying to be funny here. I don't need TikTok for that.
Vine was awesome.
9 seconds.
I loved Vine.
I just said I hate it. I'm a liar.
TikTok is even better than Vine. It is scratching that itch in a hardcore way. I don't have to it's. I'm in. China, you can spy all you want on me.
I mean, once in a while, someone send me like a video of like a goat that sounds like Jerry Seinfeld. It's like, oh, and I was like, okay, that's pretty funny because that goat actually sounds like Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm not. We'll move on. You would like it if you tried it. Is all I'll say.
No, I don't need it. I'm good.
Fair enough. You just stay grumpy on Twitter, and I'll
say.
What
do on TikTok? Come follow us on Classically TikTok. Here's my Nintendo game, and
no, I want to post clips of us being idiots on this show.
Oh, you can do it. I won't stop you from doing it. You're not going to. You have 2 jobs. You're not going to do that. Come on.
I probably won't. You're right.
An hour of a podcast took us a month.
It took me a year and a half to reapply to Spotify, and all I needed to do apparently was just send a link in. Right. I thought I needed to back. Okay, for a while you needed to just raw apply, and they would get you or not, and then you needed to like backdoor your way in by like being on Anchor, and then Anchor would automatically get you in, and then they finally open the floodgates.
You know how sad it is to go into someone's Twitter who you're like, oh shit, Birkenstocks. I'm just looking at the box. Let me go on Birkenstock's Twitter, and it's like verified, but there's no tweets. You're like, what is this? That's what the TikTok for Classic Leak would be. One of those guys have a TikTok. Oh, they do. 0 posts. What is this? Why do they even bother? It's humiliating. I don't need that in my life.
I think we have enough. We have enough. If we take some stuff out of context, you're right. I'm not going to do it. But if I did, I think that
you want to kill yourself when the freaking audio is off. You're like, oh god, I was like, I gotta edit that together. Let alone editing a little clip for a TikTok. Yeah. You're gonna end up filming the screen.
You're not wrong. I guess I imagine, this is not how it would go. Is I imagine I would just like. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just video the screen. I'll just lines again.
Just like the Spider-Man.
So, PlayStation games for February. Go download them. Yes. From MyNintendoNews.com, Banjo-Kazooie is launching a Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
No, you read that wrong. So,
you wanna fix that for me? My dyslexia just out there raw right now.
Banjo-Kazooie is launching on Nintendo's online expansion pack. Remember how
it's not getting it, it's launching. That's not dyslexic. That's just illiterate.
Banjo-Kazooie did have its own expansion pack. To be fair, so you could be confused because of that. No, that is a dark beer you're having, by the way.
I told you it was a black IPA.
Yeah, that's real. That's like drinking Venom. Put that as a show note.
That's it's named. That I'm going to blame my inability to read on the black IPA.
There you go.
So, okay, I didn't find value in the Nintendo expansion pack with the launch games they came out with.
Right. Yes.
I still don't with this one. However, okay. You answer my question. Does it add enough value to you?
No. So right now, someone put like a screenshot of the N64 games. And it's like 8, and she's like, "This is so pathetic. Like this is so sad." And the Sega Genesis games is like the same fucking 30 games that always come with Sega Genesis. No one even talks about the Sega Genesis games. It's all N64. Like they finally got Ocarina of Time. I think Majora's Mask is coming soon.
It's coming, yeah.
Super Mario 64 is there, but if you have the 3D All-Star game, so who cares? It would have made a big difference if you didn't have it.
I heard the ports are bad. You know, the Minor Mentions Gamer said a lot of the ports suck. I guess he just came out with the video and said there's been some improvements, but
I don't want to get it when it's starting. I want to get it at the end when everything's up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My thing is, because I saw people on Twitter being like, you know, PlayStation and Sony or PlayStation and Microsoft users right now, like it shows them crying because Banjo-Kazooie's on the Switch now. But I have Rare Replay, and excuse me if I'm wrong here, but is that not the Banjo-Kazooie game that we're all talking about right now?
I have no idea. Rare Replay I have on my Xbox.
Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie's on there.
If it is, then I got it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the N64 ports. So what the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't want to play that anymore. I don't want to play it on the Switch.
You know where I'm not hearing those complaints? On TikTok.
Well, you're not looking at the right place.
I am on the... It's starting to get there. I do get a lot of retro video game content and a lot of guitar content.
Yeah.
Which is great. And girls shaking their butts and knows I like that stuff.
People send me videos of like, did you know that in Super Mario Brothers 1, there's a secret -1 level?
Then you hit not interested. I'm a...
No, if I send you
your friends are idiots. Oh, if I send you a TikTok, it's fucking good, guaranteed.
Or another one was like, did you know you can download ROMs on the internet and play
Did you know that this is one of my... Did you know that you can control the other duck in Duck Hunt with the controller?
Second controller? I'm like,
And you're like, it's in the fucking manual, dude. It's in the manual. Read the manual.
Yeah. God damn, I hate TikTok.
You hate Twitter, and you're taking your rage out on that.
I'm going to go on Twitter and yell at TikTok. No, Twitter was a mistake, too.
Twitter has been a net negative in your life.
No, I've been okay with it. I just don't care. I'm like, I don't care.
You do.
No, I don't. I don't get in arguments with people anymore because I don't care. Sad. Tired.
Get on TikTok and just scroll mindlessly through the videos.
Banjo-Kazooie, I have it already, so I don't need the expansion pack for the
Do you
Switch.
need Tui?
It's on there too. Tui. Woo, shit.
I guess it's fine. Like Nintendo, whenever they are doing these things, it just helps me realize what a poor value it is, and I'll be okay with their $20 a month thing.
Yeah, I don't even have that because I don't play online.
I do because it's $20 a month or $20 a year, and I just it's such an impulse.
With, Game Pass, I'm like, I can get Game Pass for like $100 a year, but it's like I don't even play. I just bought Knights on the Xbox One.
You know what? On Xbox exclusives, I feel like I would get 2 a year. So right now, it still feels close to.
I think it's because my Xbox One was so late to my life that I'm just like, ew. You know what I mean?
I feel that way with the PS3 and the PS4 and PS Plus. Like I just don't have. It felt more like I checked a box by getting it, not that like I wanted it. It just was. I
could have done without it.
Yeah.
It didn't add anything in my life. I got to play Cyber Shadow and Maneater and a couple games here and there, but otherwise, I'm like, man, I'm good. So I have so many games to buy.
So I guess the biggest thing in the news, Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, that was big. I had both my brother and my brother-in-law both texted me, "Holy shit, Microsoft bought Blizzard." I was like, "Yeah, my brothers are funny." They both thought the same thing. That's big. It's really big.
It was 60,
so what does this mean?
It means this feels to me like one of those seminal moments in games, like that. This is the beginning of the massive switch to no ownership of games, no physical copies, and this is Microsoft really trying to make sure that no matter where you are with your internet connected device, you can play video games on their service. So, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft.
But does that mean it's not going to go on PlayStation anymore?
Phil Spencer from Microsoft he's the new Xbox CEO. I mean, he's been there for a bit. But he's no longer he's head of gaming or CEO of gaming or something. Now he got a big title boost in this. But he's out there saying that he values Call of Duty on PlayStation. Because
Minecraft was purchased by Microsoft and that's still on PlayStation and stuff, right?
So this feels to me more like Microsoft is going to make it so that the Xbox Game Pass is available on PlayStation.
That'd be wild.
Because it's like all of a sudden, if they allow Game Pass on your PS5 or whatever in the future, right?
Oh, PlayStation would never say yeah to that. They don't even freaking. It took them forever to make Rocket League free multiplayer. Free to play.
I know, but this is...
No, sorry, I'm lying. Not free to play. Cross-platforming.
I know what you meant. This is different. This is... Now Microsoft, just by opening up their checkbook, has so many IP that...
I mean, they own... Who else? You guys who make Doom. Bethesda, yeah. They own Minecraft, which is already big. This thing has Overwatch, which is also big.
We're free. No, financially, Candy Crush
King is
in
Candy
this.
Crush. Yeah, that's true.
World of Warcraft.
I'm surprised that's still big.
Hearthstone, big. Overwatch 2 is on the brink coming out. Tony Hawk, Guitar Hero, as recent things that are dormant, but it still has a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, the biggest game in the world, right? Or one of. I don't know how this will play out, but it does ensure for, like, absolutely, this little $14.99 a month that we're paying, or right now, I'm paying $10 a month for a Game Pass Ultimate because of, like, eBay codes and stuff like that. This
I can't find them anymore. God damn it!
This is going to start going up like Netflix, and it's going to end up costing you $30, $40, $50 a month probably at some point. And they may have enough content. Well, that will be worth it. What was it like $65 billion or something like this? This is definitely the biggest acquisition in video game history, but this might be one of the biggest media purchases of all time. I mean,
68.7 billion.
Did Disney even pay that much for like Fox and all of that? You know what I mean? Like,
I know Star Wars was just like farted out.
Star Wars is only $4 billion.
Yeah.
What a brilliant move. I think it was a similar price for Marvel too. Disney really made some good purchases on that. This is just one of those things. Now, I'm loving Game Pass. Right now, it feels super customer friendly. I don't know what this means, man. I could see it meaning a lot of different things at this point.
See, to me, it's like has no effect because all those games there, I don't play. So I'm like, whatever. Makes no difference to me.
But it might indirectly affect you if it turns into like what was. It'll be curious to see what Sony's reaction is. Phil Spencer was out there saying, that Project Scarlet that has been reported, which is PlayStation's Game Pass,
right,
is like an inevitability, and so guys like you, guys like Dustin, this is bad news bears, right?
Meanwhile, Nintendo can't even get their own games on their goddamn platform.
Nintendo's on their own thing. Like, it doesn't matter.
I know.
Like, they make.
I know what I'm saying. They can't get GoldenEye on fucking N64 because they don't want to pay the license fee. Like, these guys just spend $1 billion on Call of Duty. Just spend the $30 or whatever it is for. GoldenEye.
just write the check.
Yeah. Or imagine TMNT on Nintendo's library. Whoo, play online. That'd be so much fun.
That would be.
But no.
So
they don't want to pay the license.
I don't know what this means other than it just feels this feels as big as Nintendo pissing off Sony and getting in bed with Philips at the last minute, and we have PlayStation because of it.
Yeah. But I remember we said the same thing when Microsoft bought Bethesda. We're like, "Oh, this is huge,
huge,
it's the biggest."
And
thing.
that's pittance compared to what they just did.
I know that's crazy because fucking World of Warcraft alone is like.
It does make a lot of sense. So, like, I haven't heard anybody speculate on this, so I could be totally wrong. Let me just say that up front. But when in the United States right now, which Microsoft is based in the United States.
Yeah.
We are in a bad spot financially when it comes to inflation. We have massive inflation right now. So our dollar is not going to be worth as much in a year, right?
Uh-huh.
So even though Activision has I've heard reports that Microsoft paid potentially 40% higher than they needed to for this over the value. However, it feels like Microsoft has all this cash, right? That if it is, because this was a cash deal as well. If Microsoft has all this money, if it just sits there, it will be worth less in a year or two because of inflation, right?
Right.
But if they can but if they can not only depreciate this purchase, so they'll have the massive tax write-offs, but they're actually buying assets that now could generate income and get them ahead of this massive issue that inflation is going to cause if you have a shitload of cash.
Yeah.
So it feels like a potentially it's a massive bet, right, on Game Pass. But it also feels like a way for them to put their money in a safe spot that gives them the best chance to beat inflation and the devaluation of the dollar.
I gotta lie, man. If Call of Duty is on Game Pass, I'll probably hook up for Game Pass again. All the Call of Duties, the original ones. Mind you, I own them on Xbox. They're backwards compatible.
But if you can play them without... And if you come to visit, you might have a game, an Xbox that works. Oh, you still have the X, don't you?
I have Xbox One.
That's right. But eventually, that's going to be phased out, and you'll need one of the new ones. It's just cool. It's crazy. Who knows? Just buckle up, I guess. I'm glad I like Xbox, I suppose. I like Sony too. I'm indifferent.
Is that your final statement? I like Xbox, I suppose.
I'm optimistic. This is cool.
I don't know anything about it. To me, it makes no difference in my life. So I'm glad that people are happy and or sad. I don't know. I haven't heard any complaints about it. So whatever.
It just feels like a really wise way to get their money.
I wonder what's going to happen next. Who else can they buy?
Sony?
We both went to the other competition. No, Sony has its own thing going on. Nintendo too. Nintendo's never going to do that.
Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo before.
Yeah.
And they just laughed at him. All right. Kevin, what you been playing?
Oh, well, I'd be glad to tell you. Also, I haven't been playing that much, surprisingly. So when I was in isolation, I did manage to beat Super Mario World for the first time ever. I played it multiple times, but I never actually beat it. I never actually sat from the beginning to the end. I did what I always do when I was like, oh, there's still secrets to discover. And I looked online and I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to get to the special world, the Star World. And apparently, I remember Rui telling me this back in the day, and I didn't believe him, that if you do all this, then the skins change. Everything becomes a fall setting. And then the Goombas are wearing pumpkin masks and shit like that. And I'm like, Rui, you're fucking shit. Remember when he did that Donkey Kong thing with Sonic shoes? And I thought that was bullshit until the internet came out and was right, and I sent you a link going this is what Rui was talking about. It shows Cranky Kong's auction house that has Sonic shoes there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is another thing where I'm like, Rui, you're so full of shit. You're such a liar. Because Rui was a liar. Rui's my old co-host of my old podcast, in case new listeners. So I beat the game, and I was like, that was awesome. I still like Super Mario Bros. 3 more. But so I appreciate Super Mario World for what it is. And it gets very difficult towards the end. So I was very happy about that.
I was unaware of the fall thing, but I've
never seen it.
I only have on Did You Know Gaming kind of stuff.
Yeah. But I've never actually seen gameplay of the actual thing. I've seen screenshots and a couple things here and there. I started playing Final Fantasy VII again because I'm going through my Final Fantasy games on my Switch. Hence my name on Twitter is Final Fantasy Kevin because it sounds like Final Fantasy VII. I'm very fucking creative. It's good. There's these re-releases of these Final Fantasy games, which is what technically I wanted out of an HD Final Fantasy, was just the same game but sharper, which is what this is. And they have the Popeye arms and all that. The best thing about this game is that if you press both joysticks in, you can have no counters ever any random fights if you like that sort of thing. Then there's one where if you press the button, you have limit breaks. You're always powerful no matter what, which again, if you're into that, my favorite setting is the ×3 speed. The way sometimes I'm like, why is the game so glitchy? And it's because I accidentally turned it off, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the actual speed of this game. You're just walking so slowly, and the reactions are slow, and the text is slow, and the going into a battle is slow, and then the waiting to attack is slow. The ×3, woo! My god, what would take me 60 hours, I'm almost
a literal
done
game changer.
Yeah, I'm almost done the game at 20 hours. And I'm like, I'm not doing all the side quests. I don't care because I've done it a million times. But I'm like, this ×3 setting is a game changer. So I'm playing that just for fun. And then I'll probably play the remake again because it's been a while. I played a game called Oxenfree for the Switch. It was on sale, and I've had it for a while. And I'm like, let me try something new. It was good.
I remember that being a pretty well-received game years ago.
It's not really a game. It's one of those walkie-talkies kind of games. Nights in the Woods kind of games where you walk and then there's text that you choose from. Yeah. There's no actual
those walking simulations they used to call them.
Yeah, but it's a 2D side-scrolling game.
Oh, okay.
So it's it's an indie game, it looks like, and it does what one of my favorite things is playing with radio dials, and then you hear aliens have been coming by, and I'm like, oh, what was that about the aliens? Go back to that, right? Or you gotta use your radio to find a hidden message, and it'll be up, umbrella steak, and I'm like, up umbrella steak. UUS. What's UUS? Up south. Oh, they're giving me a code. Like, it's cool shit like that. And the story's great. Apparently, there's an Oxenfree 2 coming out soon, so check it out. It's a nice little indie game. It's usually on sale for 99 cents. So, and I think regular price is $10. So, if you want a fun little game to play, try that. Like you, I've jumped back into Spider-Man because of freaking No Way Home, which made me want to play Spider-Man again. But I'll let you talk about it more because I already beat the game. And the biggest thing, motherfucker, I got an Oculus Quest too.
I know. That's so cool. I'm glad to see the game you have highlighted here. That's one of the best VR games I've ever played. I adore that game. I hope you have the same feelings.
I told you I went to my brother-in-law's house like last year and he has an Oculus Quest, and I was like, oh my god, this thing is life-changing. So he saw how much we had fun with it, so he bought us one. I don't know why. Like this, I don't know. I was like mind blown. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even get you anything, right? I felt terrible. And then he bought us like that mini pug game for me and had to play, which is I'm like on top of it. Like, I wanted Resident Evil 4, damn it. Anyway, so I bought the first game I wanted right away was Beat Saber, because I'm like, I've heard about Beat Saber, I've seen it, it looks amazing, and I like dancing games and rhythm games.
Yeah.
So I bought Beat Saber right away. The first thing I did was buy the Green Day pack, but without like, I'm like, I don't want the pack because I don't know. Like, these are all new Green Day songs. There's American Idiot and then songs later. I don't know past American Idiot. I don't know any Green Day. So I bought like the 4 Green Day songs. I bought Lady Gaga, Bad Romance, because that's a good song. And I bought High Hopes, Panic at the Disco, I think it is.
Oh, weird. I thought you were going to say like All the Lights from Kanye West.
No, but it sounds the same.
Yeah.
But I bought High Hopes because that song is also good. So I bought those single songs for like $2 each. And I played them and they were fun. And now I'm playing a campaign for Beat Saber. And I sweat. Baby, sweat.
Yeah. It's a good workout.
I sweat. But it sucks because I have to like take off the goggles because it's like foggy because I'm sweating like a chimp, right?
Yeah.
And my arms are killing me from playing Beat Saber. I don't know if you ever played Beat Saber.
I have.
So there's some levels where it's like you have to do as much movement in between hitting the blocks to beat the level. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, I'm moving my arms and wildly like over exaggerating, and I recorded myself and like to see me playing Beat Saber. I'm like, I'm pathetic. I have a Sega Genesis shirt and I'm this fat guy just dancing in my living room. Because in my point of view, it's fucking awesome, right? There's neon lights and lasers and shit. But from the outside world, I'm just this fat
you just
guy.
look like a crazy person.
I look like a conductor, like a gay conductor. I'm just like la la la. Like also a show note, show title. So I was playing this one level where you had to move your arms like crazy, and I couldn't for the life of me beat it. And I'm just like, I punched the wall, white boy rage, and I'm trying my best. Yes, I went on Steam, or I went on Google, like, how the fuck do you beat level 14A? And one guy wrote, I couldn't beat this either, so I started doing a jerk off motion, and I beat the level 1/3 in the way in. And I was like, jerk off motion? I beat the fucking level with that motion. Both hands. I was just like, because you had to do as much hand movement.
I bet you were doing it. I bet you were.
What, skiing? No, I was doing like this and like swiping, because before I was doing circles like maracas, and I was doing like over exaggerated. But as soon as I read that, and I'm like, jerk off motion, I like the song started and I hit my goal. I'm like, damn, I'm good at this. Like, I'm really good at this.
You've had a lot of practice, so
the Oculus Quest 2 is, I was telling my buddy this, and every time I tell someone this, it's like my Ghostbuster VR experience that I had, the augmented reality thing, where I'm like, it was life-changing. I'm like, I've never experienced anything like that before. It was incredible. It was like a religion. I was like born again when I saw that Ghostbuster thing. This is also life-changing. I'm like, this is incredible technology. It's like how I felt with the Switch, where I'm like, well, this changes everything.
Yeah,
like, I'm never going to make TV again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my first like good VR experience, it is like, whoa, like,
yeah,
I see things differently now. Like, I ate a fistful of mushrooms when I was in college, and I'm like, I see the world differently now. It's like one of those like, what?
Like my buddy helped me move, and I didn't use this is before I had COVID, but I had the Oculus Quest at home, and I told him, I'm like, just try it, put it on. You don't have to play the game, just put it on. And he put it on, and he's like, oh my god, this is incredible. Oh, look at the mountains out the window. And I'm like, that's just the title screen.
It's just,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, it's like in that episode of Simpsons, like I just entered my name in like Thrill Hole. You know what I mean? Like it. He was blown away with that, and I showed my wife like Netflix. I'm like, you can watch Netflix in a movie theater, and she's watching RuPaul's Drag Race in what feels like a movie.
An
theater
80, like a 100-foot screen, yeah.
Right, and she's like, this is crazy. I'm like, hey, you always wanted your living room clean. I changed it, and she's like, wow, there are mountains outside the window, and in real life, she's talking to a wall.
Yeah,
which is funny. I recorded her. But I was like, this is life changing. This is amazing technology. The next game I plan to get is Resident Evil 4. Because if I'm going to replay the best Resident Evil game, might as well play it in VR. But I wish that the graphics didn't look like PS2 game graphics. I don't know how jarring that would be.
It'll be fine. Like it'll still blow your mind because it'll look tangible, even though it's just like it's Roger Rabbit, right? He saw the cartoons. Yeah. They still looked like cartoons, but to Eddie, they were real.
Right.
So.
Good reference, man. That was wonderful. But yeah, I was just like blown. First thing I did was go on YouTube and like watch like VR videos and all that. And I really want to try porn on it, but it's a family device, and I don't know how to clear the history. But I'm just curious. Remember when I got my little VR headset on my phone? I gotta buy another one, right? That's what it is. I just gotta buy it.
You write incognito on it.
Why does this one smell bad? It's like don't.
Oh, that's Dad's. No.
Yeah. Both my daughter and my best friend managed to throw the controller across the room when playing Beat Saber.
They didn't have the Wii straps on the wrists.
They didn't put them on, but I was like, he like whipped it. I'm like, thank God the TV wasn't in this room because you would have broke my TV.
He would have made a good TikTok.
Right. But yeah, it was just like dumb games like petting a virtual pet because a lot of the free games are just like experiences.
Sure.
And I bought a game called Virtual Reality where it's like kind of like Portal where it starts off with you putting on different goggles.
Okay.
And like as you're like doing different jobs, like putting toast on butter and the butter's like talking. It's really weird. The shit starts to kind of get weird. And Hannah got freaked out by it because all of a sudden you take the goggle off and the lights go off in the game. You're like looking around and the phone booth appears and you're answering. You're like, I know who you are. And then the game comes back and the guy's talking to you like nothing happened. I'm like, what the hell was that? It's kind of like Portal where like everything just kind of starts getting fuckery.
Sure, yeah.
And so I gotta finish that. But then but even that, I'm like, this is incredible. Like walking around vacuuming shit. The controls are so comfortable and so intuitive. Like it's so cool. Like
yeah.
You don't use the controls, you can use your hand.
I'm excited to get back into VR. I don't know if it'll be the PlayStation one that was announced.
That's my only thing. The lack of games. I'm like, the PlayStation VR has like Batman. It has like
that Batman game is not great.
No, but I mean it's something. Like this thing.
It is something. It is something.
Like Beat Saber and Walkabout Golf, whatever it's called, are like the closest to like VR games. Everything else is like I don't know, like exercise or just kind of, I heard the Walking Dead game was really good too.
No, I mean it is still very light, but it's encouraging that VR keeps getting iterated on. At some point, it will meet a critical mass where there will. Like
I wish Half-Life was on there. Half-Life Alyx, whatever it's called.
I feel like Half-Life Alyx was going to be coming to PlayStation VR
because that's on Steam only right now, from what I saw.
I thought you could get this. I thought you could get Steam on Oculus too.
You can, but you need a computer to do it, which I don't have. This is like connection via Wi-Fi or something, and my computer can't run Steam games. No way.
Yeah,
like we could really run this. So. I just wish there were more. Like I'm like, okay, Beat Saber, I'm almost done that, and Resident Evil 4 will definitely be my next one. But there's,
I wonder if my buddy, the time I played Beat Saber, he had the Vive from Valve. So this was a year or two before the pandemic. Yeah. But he hacked his, so he had all these unofficial games in.
Right.
So there was lots of fun, like goofy dubstep nonsense. So I wonder if you can like break Beat Saber open on the Oculus.
You can. See, that's the first thing I looked at, right? Because I'm like, you can play the Megalovania song from Undertale in Beat Saber. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, how you do this? You got to put your Oculus Quest in like developer mode and download this thing on your computer called BlueStacks and then do some weird connecting. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Then I saw You can do emulators, and there's like the Virtual Boy Emulator, Scott.
Oh, of course, we've talked about this. Like,
right? How perfect! You can actually play Virtual Boy the way it's intended. Base, like strapped in with actual 3D effects.
Or you can have the End of the Wizard experience and play Super Mario 3 on an arena-sized screen.
So that's the other thing. You can play NES emulator games, obviously, but it'll be like you look around and you're like in an 80s bedroom.
That's awesome.
And you like sit in front of a little TV. You can play with a zapper. I saw like clips of it. You can shoot the zapper at Duck Hunt on a CRTV in the game.
Cool.
Or, and this was the dumbest one, but I want to do it so badly. You can play the Game Boy in virtual reality, not like you're holding a Game Boy in the virtual reality world playing.
Oh, you're holding it up. That's great. Yes, okay, that's stupid, like, but that is awesome.
It's so dumb. I have 4 Game Boys sitting on my shelf, but I still want to try this
for sure.
Right? It's not like the Game Boy's on the screen. You're holding the Game Boy and playing with the buttons.
I love that.
I'm like, that's incredible. I want it so badly, but. Anyways, I wanted you to do like the light adjustment, like sit in the.
Oh yeah. I was about to ask, like, can you like buy attachments to like magnify the screen and?
Are there different environments, like the back of a car has the street lights are going
by? Oh yeah. Oh dude, oh man, what a time. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you got it. I'm glad that like you didn't have a financial investment in it. It was a gift.
It was a gift, yeah.
So, because of that, the thinness of the library and stuff that's available isn't like going to give you buyer's remorse. It will just give you wanting more. So it's not going to sour your experience. Well, to a certain degree it might, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Like, I just don't want to have this beautiful technology just sitting on my table.
Yeah, right.
Like, what else am I going to do? I've done everything I can. Like, give me more.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. God, I'm so curious what that looks like.
Probably great.
I'm sure it would. But the only problem is like the head, like the speakers on your ears, right? So I can't like whoop, is someone coming down the stairs kind of situation. Because you know how many times I thought
you have to like put like a spacer so that it's not on your ear, so you can still hear the outside world.
Well, I like that when you come out of the comfort zone or whatever, you can like the cameras turn on, you can see around you.
Okay,
I like that a lot. That's very good, so I don't kick Hannah in the head when she runs by.
Sure.
But what was I gonna say? I've heard like people, Jesus, like I've heard voices because I can't see around me, right? So I'm like, huh? Oh, right, I'm home by myself. Like, I thought I heard someone call my name or I heard the door knocking, like shit like that. It's fucking with me, man. And then if I play in like,
what about when we do the podcast where we're logging into the metaverse and it's just
talking to each other with VR?
We're not doing the podcast that way. We'll be the retro.
I'll do like stationary mode sometimes, and I'll be like fishing. And I'll like take my fucking visor off, and I'm like been staring at a wall or like my window for like the last hour without knowing. But it
felt like you were so there. Like, what a trippy.
Yeah, when people walking by just see this fat idiot like looking at the window, like laughing to himself. Anyways, so those are all the games I've been playing.
Cool. What are you? I still can't beat Mama in Binding of Isaac.
Mom or mother?
I have no idea. That's why I said them all.
Is it the ones with the eyes coming from different doors?
The foot stomp. The foot stomp. Yeah. Can't get through that. Oh,
that's Mom.
Okay, that's Mom. So no, can't even get through that yet. I still enjoy. I play it as like a nice little that's the run. I don't care about beating it for some reason. Like I don't.
Are you just having fun doing it?
To a certain degree, like I don't.
That's how I was for years, for 10 years.
Yeah, I can't grasp what got you and Demez to 1,000,000% or 3,000,000% or whatever the fuck it is hooked.
That's how it starts.
It's just
whatever, and then after a while, you're like, oh, I just beat something. Well, how do I beat the second thing now? Like after you beat Mom. You're going to be like, well, what's this other mark here? How do I get there? And you're going to look online. Oh, I got to go this way.
Sure.
And do this. And then spirals into
we'll see
3,000 hours.
I like that on the PS5, I have a fire up game. a single player that I can just fire up and have like 20 minutes of enjoyment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's so weird that I played on the Switch for so long that when I play on the TV, I'm like, this feels weird. Like it's too big.
I bet on the PS5 it would like really mess with you. It's just like it's so smooth. So I still really enjoy it, but
I'm glad you're still enjoying it. How many hours you put into it?
No idea.
Maybe fun to check.
Enough that I should have gotten farther than I have. I'll say that much.
That's Binding of Isaac. I've been playing the same character since the last time we spoke, and I just beat Mother today. So.
I installed Avengers. It's on Game Pass. So I installed that. Haven't tried it yet. I wanted to get through Spider-Man first. I keep every now and again firing up Mortal Kombat 11.
Hold on, Avengers was good. I played Avengers on the PlayStation when they had like the free.
You told me that you knock it out in a weekend, and it was worth like if you're not like buying it, if you can just like play it.
Well, I got bored of it because it's like you made it this far. Welcome to the purchases. So I'm like, I don't want any of this stuff.
Yeah,
like it kind of went to that world,
and that's fine. And I think I'm gonna still give it a little bit of distance from Spider-Man because I'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't see it being better than that. But I'm chipping away a little bit at Mortal Kombat 11. I kind of don't want to play it a ton of it because
that was fun. I played it's like a 6-hour campaign. I got the Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, which has like. Remember I told you it was like Smash Brothers for dads? So it has like Rambo. And and I beat the campaign. You're like me. Well, as soon as we see those credits, we're like after 6, you're like, I'm not interested anymore, right? I never went back to it. It's still there taking up space because it's like 70 gigs.
Oh yeah, I'll delete it when I can. I like how ridiculous it is, and seeing the movie. Not that it ties in any way.
No,
but it helped me with some characters. So now I know like. It's weird. It's got time travel in a really funny way. Like, at one point, they shot the young Kano in the face, and it killed the old Kano, and it was just like... this is dumb. There's 2 Johnny Cages that are...
One gets a scar when he was a kid.
Yeah.
When he was younger, he got shot, and then the other one has a scar.
And, stuff like that, it's all sorts of... It's nonsense, right? But it is... exactly what you would hope for in Mortal Kombat.
There's heart in it.
There is. There's some thought into it. There's mothers and daughters. It looks really awesome. Obviously, I'm playing on easy mode, so I just grind through all the fights and just watch the cutscenes. And
fighting games, I'll do normal. I won't touch hard because hard is bullshit.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I'm going on easy. Like I'm not fucking dealing with an annoying fight because it feels like I'm watching a Die Hard cartoon. Like I'm just in the mood for action. Like. Give me some spectacle. Show me what your artist got, and I like what Mortal Kombat 11 has done.
How much you pay for it? 20?
No, it's included on Game Pass.
Oh, it's on Game Pass now? Son of a bitch. Okay, I paid.
It had 10 forever, but now it's got 11. So hell yeah.
See, I liked 9 a lot because that was like the game changer.
That was the reset. That was them starting again,
and that's the one I have a joystick thing of the arcade cabinet for.
And this is the third one of that.
Yeah, and I bought 10, and I forgot about 10, and then I bought this one and forgot about 11.
I feel like I saw the credits of 10, but I don't remember anything about it, so I might not have. Either. But, I don't really know much of what's going on with this one. It's nice to just flip to every now and again.
Yeah.
So
and it's fun. I gotta keep pausing and like, how do I get over here?
Like, I'm not going to buy these when they come out, but if they're gonna keep including them in Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or whatever, like I'll keep getting.
Yeah, of course. It's a good 6 hours there.
I finished Halo Infinite's campaign. I don't know if that happened the last.
I don't remember. I remember you talking about it. I don't remember you beat it.
It's awesome to me.
Didn't the new Halo game come out on the Game Pass?
There was like the Master Chief Collection.
No. There's a new one. Is it Infinite? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that's on Game Pass. All Microsoft first party stuff's coming out on Game Pass.
No, I know, but there was a new Halo. Is this it?
This is it. Yes. Sorry. Okay. My bad. I apologize. Yes. The new Halo.
Okay.
I like it. I'm excited for more campaign stuff to come out.
I think you were talking about it coming out, not that you're actually playing it. I really don't remember.
I don't either. I have no idea.
Sorry, I'll stop interrupting you.
Well, then maybe since the last time we played, maybe I played it for the first time. I don't know. I think I played it last episode though. It doesn't matter. I finished it by now. And I would highly recommend it. I won't dabble in the... If I play the online stuff, I have to play the stuff that, like, puts me with real people against bots. Like, dude, I really am terrible at video games.
So am I,
especially if there's 2 sticks. Like, fucking I suck. I like it, but I'm terrible. So
it's funny because my daughter was like, we're talking about like things that she's good at, and then she asked me what I was good at. I'm like, I don't know what I'm good at. She's like, you're good at video games. I'm like, I'm really not. I just have a lot of them.
Yeah, I just like it.
I like it. I like having it. I like playing it, but I'm not good at it.
I highly recommend it. You know that I'm a Halo. I like Halo, I guess. I'm one of those types of people.
Well, I can't play it until I play part 1. And when I had Game Pass, I started playing the first Halo game, which had like the HD.
You can't skip around, man. I'm telling you, it's a nice way to live.
I need it. I can't. I gotta play from the beginning. Just gotta. And I couldn't get into it, and then I dropped out of Game Pass. I was like, oh well, I tried.
Fair enough. It feels good, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen any pictures of it.
It has nice... feels good. I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't know. Like sometimes Halo's a bit sluggish and doesn't feel as sharp. But you just kind of get used to it, and then once you're used to something, you're good to go.
I heard clips that sounds funny too at times. They're like good voice acting and whatnot.
Oh yeah, it's just like it was. I actually could follow the story a bit. I liked that. I liked the angle they took on the story from Halo 5. Just play Halo Infinite if you have the opportunity to. What's crazy about it is it's selling like crazy on PC. There's an absolute fuck ton of people. Oh, another one that's selling great on PC is God of War. I heard that God of War port is awesome. Yeah. They're like, it's better than the PS5 version.
See, that's what sucks. The PS5 they announced God of War Ragnarok for PS5. I'm like, I love that game, but I can't play it because I'm on PS5.
You will.
Yeah.
You will.
Probably not.
You'll get a PS5 someday, for sure.
One day, because I heard once you have the PS5, you no longer need a PS4, like, at all.
That's been my experience. I put mine in the box. And I spent time playing... interesting. I'm an idiot.
What just happened?
I confused myself in my notes, and I figured out what I meant to do. So I'm like, what the fuck did I write there? Halo is great, and God of War apparently is great on PC. All I was trying to wouldn't you expect Halo to not sell well on PC because of Game Pass?
Yeah.
But it's selling great on Steam. Great.
It's on Steam?
It's on Steam.
Wow, that's surprising.
The campaign and the free-to-play aspect. So you can play it on PC with Game Pass
right.
PC or Game Pass Ultimate, or you can buy it retail on Steam.
That's weird. Why?
Because Microsoft does not care about the box.
I mean, why would you not just get on Game Pass?
Because you don't have any interest in doing Game Pass.
Oh,
it's just
an option. That's good.
Kevin, you're the type that would not be on Game Pass and prefer to.
I'm not on Game Pass
and prefer to get it separately.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not Halo, but other examples.
Like I said, I don't want Game Pass to play long games because I'd rather just buy the game and play on my... Like, they have all the Yakuza games, but I don't want to pay Game Pass to play Yakuza. I'd rather just outright buy Yakuza. Yeah, that's fair.
So, I wanted to say that I'm 6 out of 6 so far in Wordle. Not Wordle. Wordle.
Yes. Wordle has taken the world.
I haven't missed a word yet. I do it every day or two. If you're not sure, just Google Wordle. Don't go to Wordle.com. That's not the right site.
I saw all those little bubbles showing up on Twitter, and I asked Connor, my buddies, and I was like, "What the hell? What is this? I'm seeing these damn things everywhere." And Oh, I'm at a 71% win streak.
I'm at 100%.
Oh, nice.
The streak of one, but I'm at 100. I've not missed one.
My wife got into it, and then she grabbed the phone and she like put a word in, and I'm like, "You're not supposed to put the letters that are black. That means don't use them." She's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." But now her and I play, and we like, did you get it? I got it in four lines. It's crazy how much this has taken the world.
It is. Their share feature is brilliant. The way that worked, that's what got everything going. My best is
like green blocks and all that. It's amazing.
It is. It's
just like, what the hell is this?
I've done it in 3. My best one is my third guess. I got it.
Yeah,
which I think is
I got the first one, sugar, which was a couple days ago. I typed in the word. I have 3 words: games, point, and sugar that I always put in because it has vowels in it.
I like irate.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, because it's 3 vowels in that one.
And an R and a T.
Yeah, because mine is point is O and I, sugar is U.
Farts
and A.
also works really well, which is awesome.
Which one?
Farts.
Farts. There's only 1 vowel in there.
Yeah, but you got hefty.
Yeah, you
STR.
okay.
So
that's fair.
You can rule out a lot that way too. But irate's where I've been going.
But yeah, so I typed in sugar because that's one of my words. It was a green.
That's a good one.
Cool. Well, right on. Yeah. So very proud of myself.
Yeah, try out Wordle. It's super fun.
It's a word a day. Everyone's into it now.
Yep. And then lastly, I've already kind of talked about.
Also, if you download the app, it is not made by the original people, and those people are stealing it. So don't download the app.
Go to the web version. Just Google Wordle, and then it will take. It's like a UK website.
Yeah, it is.
I've played Spider-Man 4. I will say
on PS4. That's Spider-Man 4.
Played Spider-Man on PS4. Sorry, I didn't think I was gonna like it for a long time. Something about the Batman combat is never to me been better than actually the first iteration in Arkham Asylum. And maybe I just got better at it, but I felt like the beginning of the game was too slow of a trickle to ramp up my abilities or like my combat.
Mm-hmm.
It got super easy and satisfying towards the second half of the game.
Yeah.
And it felt like it took way too long for it to start to get satisfying. It felt like I'm just kind of grinding through this, and it's okay. Like the swinging was a little clunky.
Well, have you been doing tricks as you swing? Because you level up that way too.
Yes, but you have to unlock that ability.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It's in the skill tree.
Okay.
It was just. It was a slow start for me. It just.
That's fair.
But ultimately, I really came around on it and really started to enjoy it. And at some point, I don't know, maybe halfway, 2/3 through the campaign, something like that, I was like, I'm just going to avoid. I'm not doing like completionist nonsense, but I will only look for side missions.
Yeah.
But like an actual mission with like the little blue target instead of the gold target.
Yeah, the side quest. Yeah.
Not just going to every backpack and going to every fucking monument and all that. Like, collect crap. Because I'm aware of the Miles Morales game being out.
Yeah.
Totally thought he was going to die.
Wait, who? Miles Morales?
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Okay. Oh,
let me also say this. I assume that Miles Morales exists because Spider-Man died. Like, I don't. In
the comics, he does.
Okay, so I'm assuming my assumption's fair. I'm under that impression. Like,
but that's in the Ultimate Spider-Man.
The original Spider-Man dies. Here's the new guy, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. That's comic books. So there was a moment. Yeah, he's fighting all the bad guys at once, and I'm like, oh, they fucking killed him. And honestly, at that moment, I would have felt slightly shorted as far as like the campaign. Like I was a little quicker than I expected, but it was satisfying. Like that was pretty good. I see why people like this so much, but it kept going in a really good non-drag-on kind of way after that.
Right. Yeah.
And I played this on easy. Like not super easy. Like there was one step up from easy. I did it on that because I flipped it to that because the combat was just not. It was not doing it for me. It just was not. It didn't have the rhythm that I wanted in it. Eventually, once I was able to like swing, kick people, and suck them up into the air, and do farther lunge combats, and use your web to get weapons away from folks, like that made it a way better experience. But it just took too long of a bit for me to get into.
Have you beaten it?
Yeah. I saw the credits.
Oh, you saw the credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I highly recommend it. I now understand why people liked it so much.
So I beat it in 2018 when it first came out because I was really looking forward to this game, and I beat it 100%. I did everything perfect, gold stars, everything, every little side quest I did, backpacks, secret photos, everything I did. And I 100% like the goals. You know, you have the bronze, silver, gold. Did all that. I even bought the DLC because I wanted the costumes, and it came with extra story. Awesome. So then I stopped playing it, and then I lent it to my buddy, and then the pandemic hit. So, of course, I wanted to play it more because I didn't have it. My buddy left work, and he dropped it off my desk. I remember saying this, and I picked it up. And then I played it, dabbled here and there, but after watching Spider-Man No Way Home, I got into it really bad again. And now I'm playing on New Game Plus on Superior mode. I already beat it on hard mode. Now I'm playing Superior mode, which is like
there is a Superior. Maybe I should do a new save file.
No, it'll. You can launch New Game Plus in a different save file or the same one if you want.
Oh, okay.
It's very like user friendly.
Nice.
So I'm playing New Game Plus. That's why to me I'm like, you thought the battle was like slow, but because since I played in 2018, I already have everything unlocked in New Game Plus. So everything is like quick.
Yeah. Like I'm leveled to the point. Now it's satisfying to play. It took longer to get there than I was expecting. Yeah. There's still some times where Spider-Man does not do what I want at all. It sticks to the wall. He sticks to the wall when I don't want him to. Like, if I want to climb up the wall, he doesn't. And when I want him to stop fucking climbing on the wall, he just will not. I cannot jump off walls.
That's weird.
I cannot jump off the wall and go do what I want to do sometimes.
Well, the wall of climbing has always been...
Sometimes it's sticky and clunky in a frustrating way. Luckily, that's only navigation of the territory. But every now and again, like when I'm trying to like catch up with the pigeons and whatnot, I'll get like stuck on like a corner of a building. I'll get sucked to, and I'm like, that is bullshit.
Oh, that's weird. I never had that happen.
Dude, yeah. For me, it's amazing swinging, but it's not perfect. And I don't know how they could have done it any better, honestly. So,
I mean, it's the best. Like to me, I'm playing it now as we speak, and like I'm taking screenshots and putting on Twitter, and I'm like, this game still
is unbelievably gorgeous. Like there, like especially when the sun's setting, and you like happen to be like around the bay, and it's just like, wow, this looks.
And like his costume, just looking close at the stitching and the fibers, and like his eyes have like little circles in them.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm playing the old generation. To me, it still feels fresh and like, oh, I'm playing the PS5 version. You know what I mean?
And I switch the costumes every like 10 minutes because if a cutscene comes in, I like seeing the way the costume looks and like because it's in-game footage. It's not like a cutscene,
which is cool.
It's in-game, so sometimes the eyes move, they squint, or sometimes they don't, and it's cool to see like the Sam Raimi costume in like this HD quality. Like it's just
it is.
It's cool. Or sometimes it's cool to see the comic book cartoon version or the anime one talking to like a reporter. It's just awesome. All the costumes are awesome. They're great. And that's what the Batman games had too, except Batman costumes aren't as cool looking as Spider-Man's.
Definitely.
So that's why when the part 2 is coming out, that's going to be all Venom based. So you can have all the different types of symbiote costumes, I'm guessing.
Cool.
Which would be nice.
The only thing that really makes me mad is for some reason, like a month or so ago, Miles Morales was on sale for half off and I didn't buy it.
Oh, I should have bought it.
Now I'm pissed because now I'm going to try to wait, but now I'm probably going to end up paying $50 for it.
It's worth it. I heard it's unbelievable on PS5 as well.
That's what I've heard too. So
I like Miles Morales because he's more like because Spider-Man's like already been Spider-Man for like 10 years in the game. Miles Morales is just starting off, so
he's like more relatable. Like he's like
But even like his little movements of him like texting while he's swinging, like you can. That's
I had no idea he did that. So
yeah, it's like these little cool things that he does, right? So, or he can like lie back with his arms behind him as like a little trick that you do when you're falling.
I mean, in the game, he's still like he's brave, but he's a wimp. Yeah. So
I like when he's like, "I just punched Spider-Man in the face."
Yeah, that was great, and that there's a lot of charm, and I've never experienced any Miles Morales content other than the movie, which was incredible. I loved that movie. So I'm excited to play it. I'm just hoping that I can resist the temptation to pay full price and wait for it to go back on sale again.
I got a full price. I hate when a game is so good like Spider-Man that it's almost like near perfection, that there's one thing in it that stands out and it bothers me forever. And that is when Aunt May's cutting a carrot, because that carrot doesn't cut. She's like, but it's still a whole carrot because they didn't like program the slices, and it drives me crazy. It's like when Homer eats a cupcake, like always
install everything to eat it.
You know when Homer eats a cupcake and just but you never see like the pile go down. It's always the same one that he eats.
Sure, I know. Not that's. I know what you're talking.
That's what they do in Spider-Man. She's like, "So Peter," and she like scrapes it off, but it's still.
Well, I'm glad I didn't notice that if that was the case. So
brutal.
It was great. I really like it. So that's awesome. Okay, we have a couple of emails to get to from Demez, and then we're going to call it a show because we're at the 2-hour mark. So,
oh my god.
I don't know. Do we have any? We might. We might have some feedback also from like the YouTube. We might have some comments as well. But so just take just a second. No, it's not.
I gotta pee. Also,
so do I. So we're gonna rip through this stuff real quick because I gotta pee too. So, I think we read that for Kevin, especially on air. Kevin was doing Animal Crossing gibberish last week. This was from November. What is funny? Japan gibberish is different. They translate it. Here's a video explaining it. Is that familiar to you?
That's new.
There's a video explaining how Japanese gibberish is different
than what?
Than like I guess English, like what we're used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. So we'll get that sent. This is fun. The origin of his name.
Oh, yes.
Ready to hear it?
Tell me.
Okay.
Is it dumbass? Because that's what I always thought of.
No, but now this is going to change how we say his name forever, though.
Okay.
Did
not call him a dumbass. I just assumed that's a good play on
not
words.
Related to that. Did you ever watch SNL? Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember a skit about the Chicago guys? Chris Farley was in it. Like Norm from Cheers was in it. And there were these guys from Chicago, and they'd be like, the Bears. They're going to win. The Bears.
No.
Okay. Well, for all you cool Americans out there, Chicago has this accent, right? And there is this skit where, like at one point, Chris Farley has a heart attack in the middle of the thing, and they're like, "Oh my God, how many heart attacks is that for you?" He's like, "That makes about a baker's dozen." He has a YouTube link. It's an iconic SNL skit. Okay. Well, Domez, the first syllable of his last name, we're not going to say his full name. But
I didn't know his real name. I thought his name was Dumbass. Like it says on his birth certificate.
His name is not that. His name is the first sound of his last name is Mez.
Okay, like messy.
I'll type the name to you. I'm not going to dox him.
Right.
So in this SNL skit, they would always go, "Who's going to win this Sunday?"
Oh, the
Bears. What's the score? I give San Francisco about 3, and the Bears 149. Just nonsense like that. They're just these super fans. So it's just a reference to dumbass. So we've always said dumbass.
Right.
We're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. So
syllable. Ooh, French. You're fancy.
Or just the pronunciation.
Wait, did you say syllable? Like
because I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. The wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Okay, so you do say syllable. I don't know. You guys.
Of course, you say syllable.
Poser. I don't know. You yelled at me for saying poser with a U when that was correctly spelled. You're like poser. Oh,
it does sound weird.
No, it's poser with a U, like favor with a U, and neighbor with a U.
That's wrong. And color with a U.
Correct. UK does it. We do it. You guys don't. You're the wrong one.
Efficient. You know how much oil we've saved because we haven't written out that fucking U?
You know how much red lines I get on Microsoft Word because of the goddamn U? It's like you spelled it incorrectly.
Because our English has been overly adapted. Come to the modern era with the proper use of the letter U. But now it is dumbass. So, which now it sounds a little bit more like dumbass, but that's not what we mean. So, dumbass. But that's where it comes from. It's his nickname and a reference to that great SNL skit. So, do you guys
know of Sean Desmond?
Personally, I don't. But when you say I'm not an entire representative of the United States.
Well, he's some Canadian pop star named Sean Desmond. And he's a Portuguese guy. Sean Desmond?
No.
Desmond. So his last name is Fernandez. So back in the day, they'd go, hey, what's up, Desmond? Fernandez, man. Desmond. So that's where his name comes from. Reminds me of that. Anyways.
Okay. He also wrote that, remember the dude Retro Gamer 3 remade Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Oh. Yes,
we did talk about this.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I marked that as unread. I thought we would talk. Did we talk about the Sonic Generations FPS boost? Does that make us sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That sounds familiar too.
This one wouldn't. Ed Finley's remakes for Ninja Turtles, etc., Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, all that. Also Ninja Gaiden. He made 2 Donald Trump run and fun shooters. Okay, I haven't read this. Let's go through this. But if it's Trump, it's probably funny. Actually for sale on Steam, really good, and it's funny to see. It is he's a huge Trump guy. Totally drank the Kool-Aid kind of guy. Trump is not for me, but the game is funny. I thought it was going to be more making fun. But really, really fun, but politically opposite of him.
Yeah.
So, but okay. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to see if it was... Okay, so he goes on to the point of the email. Okay, so here's the point of the email. All this guy's remakes have been totally free for obvious reasons. Because they were made without permission.
Right.
Duckle Injector, Mr. Hyde, Mr. Guide, and all that. I am shocked to see how he is selling most of them for money. I guess.
That's what I was saying last time.
You can buy,
like, a DVD.
I know he puts some major time into these, but charging does not bother me for the new ones, at least, but for all the ones that were free before and now suddenly being charged with no notice to grab the final update patch version while they're all still free, that kind of bugs him a bit.
Yeah, that's me vote for Trump.
And when we were making videos hyping up the Turtles game, he never mentioned he was converting to a paid system made for security for the best. I'm not sure what that means. The last part of the email is not to be read on air, so I'm not going to read that on air. I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay, cool. It's weird when you have to like separate the artist from like their like political views and stuff like that.
I think I'm pretty good at it.
I am too.
The ones that get me, if I know they're like the only thing that really gets me where I can't get past it is if I hear they're like a pedophile or something, or like a rapist. Like that's one where I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, I can't say always. I'm sure that there's still like, songs or.
All right, let me show you this.
Okay. He's gonna show us.
Sorry,
You're still blurred. You good?
Like, yeah, like this.
You're blurred. That's blurred. Bigfoot Bill.
Bigfoot Bill, and it's autographed. Let me show you here.
Trump Jr.
See that?
By Teen. No, go.
In April. You can't see it, but it's autographed. Stupid blur feature. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Who's it autographed by? Him?
Sorry?
I don't understand what I saw.
Oh, it's an autograph of Doug TenNapel, which is the creator of Earthworm Jim. who made this book.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't have the rights to Earthworm Jim anymore. So he created a new character named Bigfoot Bill.
Okay.
It's quite a nice book. So he did it on Kickstarter and all that. So I ordered the book, and it's cool because I have the creator of Earthworm Jim's autograph in his book. But he's a huge anti-gay, anti-LGBT, very religious guy. And it sucks because I'm like, fuck, I wish you would like not talk about this stuff like the way you do.
Sure.
Because I really like your work and I like what you do. So that's when I got to separate. But again, if he was like a pedophile,
it's easier. Yeah, like otherwise, I guess if it comes down to like someone's more like free market and the other person is more socialist or communist or whatever, like that's easy stuff to get past. But like, or even like a Trumper, or like right now, even though it's frustrating, like an anti-vaxxer, I think I could get past.
Right.
But you
got to separate it, right? So it's
like, because I don't think that like there's sometimes where I'll chalk it up to ignorance and not necessarily like evil, the way that I view a pedophile or a rapist is like just fucking evil. So, that's just what it is. I'm glad that you feel like you're pretty good at it.
Yeah, like I know his views are completely the opposite of mine, but I like his work.
Yeah, and I guess is the work dripping in it? And if it's not, then it shows that they probably were able to, or maybe they're able to differentiate it, or maybe they're more nuanced and complex than you're giving them credit for. Like, there's all sorts of reasonable explanations, kind of a thing.
There's a webcomic guy called Anthony Grimes, I think his name is, and he does like 4 square panels on whatever. But he's right wing and very like political and all that. And the joke, and they're very over the top, but I like his style and I think they're funny. Like, I'm like, yeah, us mask wearers are crazy. Like, I get it's funny.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what I believe in, but I can still.
You can appreciate the humor, or if someone's calling out some of your own hypocrisy, and someone's like, yeah, that does make me a hypocrite. I don't care.
Yeah, look at this book. It's
That's
so nice.
Cool. It looks awesome.
And it's autographed by the guy who created Earthworm Jim. And then look what's inside that book. My Final Fantasy XIII comic I made when I was like 10. Your blur filter, tin hat, it'll allow your handwriting and won't allow his. He's been blackballed by Discord. Conspiracy out there, so. He got canceled. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just thought that.
No, you're good. We got a few more bits of feedback from our good buddy Thomas. We also have somebody, I think that's Russian in the chat. Can't read any of it, but it looks like Russian characters, which is cool. Hello from this side of the pond. You can probably see Russia, right? Do you remember that? Because we're talking about political joke. That's an old political joke. I can see Russia from my house. She was in Alaska, but you're in Canada.
Oh,
it was. The other level was I'm American and ignorant, so Canada's all over there. Anyways, Dumbass says, I'm old. I fear change.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I will not use this mysterious Spotify you speak of. Don't use Spotify. We're just there for the folks that are in that pond. You don't have to convert. We're not going to Joe Rogan it. We're not taking our football and going exclusively to Spotify.
The Apple podcast, too. They fucked it up. How hard is it to have just the newest fucking playlist? I don't need to know. Like, amen, I got to do Marcus played for all of them? Like, come on.
Dude, amen. Quite upset to hear Kevin has not seen Bill and Ted. I demand Kevin watches the first one before the next podcast. Did you do that?
No, because I didn't know that this existed.
Are you going to watch it before the next podcast? You have a month and a half to do it.
That's true. Little Kevin, watch all of
them. Little Kevin will have a great time with Dad to learn a little history.
Hannah.
Okay. That's Little Kevin.
That's Little Kevin.
Yes, Scott is... didn't I read this? Yes, Scott is right. Almost all of Canada's population is right along the U.S. border. And that is because the farther south we can go, that's where it's warm. If you live up north, it's a frozen, desolate hellhole. So we obviously want to live where it's warm, which is the farthest south, which makes sense. It's too cold where I live, and you're way north of me.
Yeah.
Dumbass probably is. I wonder,
Is he in
Are you?
Vancouver?
Is Toronto? Is that one of those weird things where Toronto is technically further north than Vancouver?
No, Vancouver's norther than us.
Sometimes you look at the map weird, like Reno, Nevada is further west than Los Angeles because of the way California like bends down and around.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those bar bet facts. So I wonder,
I can see
like,
the moon. I can't see your house, so you know.
Toronto maybe. I wonder which is further north. Anyways, I have a fun fact for Scott. I live on Vancouver Island in Victoria.
Vancouver.
And what did you say?
No, because I couldn't remember he lived.
Oh yeah, and if you look at the map, Victoria is actually below the U.S. border. Oh, then dude, he already answered this next question.
There you go.
You have to be further north than him. It's actually below the U.S. border, except the border wraps around the island, so it doesn't have to.
Basically saying what you were saying.
Yeah.
So it goes like.
My nephew with the Metroid. Remember the guy that we were like, God, he looks so old. Is 26.
Oh wow.
He is 10 minutes above the world record in no major bliss category in that Metroid Dread. That's pretty cool.
Oh wow.
He's like a elite speedrunner, which is pretty cool. Since you all were talking about my age, I'll fill you in. He's 47. So
he's 47.
He's got a couple more years on us.
Super old. Jesus.
Oh, I thought dumbass, you give a younger vibe, so you're doing well.
You do. Yeah.
And what is really cool is I was 3 years old. And what is really cool is I was 3 years old when it already came out, so I'm basically exactly as old as video games itself. So, like, the first video game kind of came out when he was born-ish.
Yeah. So
video games have been around for about 47 years.
Yeah. Isn't it wild that we, thank God, had a life before the internet was a thing?
Dude, especially that I got to live in my late teens and early 20s. Like, the internet existed, but smartphones didn't. Like, there were no camera. People didn't text when I was in college.
That's a better way of saying, because I didn't have a cell phone in high school, or in college I did, but I had a flip phone. Like, it wasn't.
I got a flip phone. I didn't start texting until I was out of college.
Right.
And so people weren't, like, social media didn't
there's TikTok videos I made when I was a kid on a camera,
right?
Camcorder. Yeah, no one will ever see.
Good. Well, I mean, if you send them my way, or maybe I'll get them motivated. When I was a senior, when I was a senior in college, so this is 2004, 2005. That's when Facebook came out, and you needed to have a college address to sign up for Facebook.
Right, I remember that.
All right, Scott, Binding of Isaac. Sometimes you make it a power-up that lets you shoot diagonal or perhaps even control your tiers perfectly. Ooh. So you may want to use the analog stick so you can use it like smash TV buttons. Okay, that makes sense.
That's if you're shooting diagonally. That's what I do. Or when you have an actual tier that you can control, the analog stick comes into play.
Scott was talking about me using the computer keyboard for Binding of Isaac, and that's not true. Okay. My very first Binding of Isaac was on Nintendo Switch. Oh. But when I knew this sloppy a deluxe, it was definitely factual. Oh, the wrong way to play was the up, down, left, right. When you need to stop on a dime, the analog stick is too sloppy. Anyone that plays Binding of Isaac with an analog stick is a terrorist.
Fuck you, Billy. I would blow up your Vancouver house.
Dumbass is also the youngest of 5, but was the only planned one.
Oh, nice. I was a mistake in mine. I'm 10 years difference than my siblings.
His brother that fathered the Metroid Dread expert is 8 years older than him. My little sister, I'm that way. Dumbass is like the carry of my family. So... Awesome. Well, thank you very much for filling us in, man. Appreciate you sharing all that.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of fun.
I talk to Dumbass like every other day on Twitter.
Have an even better he's a good dude. So thank you for listening and commenting and having fun with us, man. So, all right, Kevin. We're finally to the end. We both got to pee. It's time to get the hell out of here. So if you have enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Spotify or Podcast Addict, anywhere that you're allowed to. Apple iTunes, all that stuff. If you want to follow us on social media, our handle is ClassicL337 everywhere. Kevin, if you want to follow him personally, is Retro Relapstick on Twitter, and that's his handle on Instagram too.
Retro Pixel Love.
That's right, Retro Pixel Love on.
Terrible name.
It's so good. You share like Retro Pixel Love. I mean, it is what it is.
Just close-up pictures of retro games.
You'll remember this girl. Her name was 8-Bit Girl on Twitter, right?
Yes. We still chat, I think.
Super nice person. She was on the podcast one time. I remember seeing a Twitter thread with her where she's like, actually, I never had an 8-bit system.
Oh, really?
So it was like a name that was more like catchy than it was accurate.
Uh-huh.
See, you went like full accurate, and I appreciate that. So
I'm very creative that way.
Very literal.
If I had a store, it'd be called like tacos.
Yeah, taco store.
It's not great.
White European man's store. So, all right, cool, everyone. That was episode 351 of the Classic Elite podcast. Please listen, I guess, next week or whenever we do this.
Whenever we record that.
Yeah, for episode 352.
Bye-bye. Bye. I gotta pee so badly. Hey, that rhymed.